All right. I think we're about ready, guys. Who's ready? Everybody up here?
Mr.
Everybody's ready?
Goldberg.
What's this guy's name? What's your name again? The guy that's
His
going
name's
right now?
just call him Joe.
Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Jasper, you know we
Nice.
love and appreciate you, bro. I really, really wish you had better prepared so that you would be more equipped for what's about to happen. But here's the thing: when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And what I know
That's
about
true.
you is you've been out here doing this work and putting the time in for a hot minute, right? For a hot minute. And so what I think is about to happen is you're going to come out here and just do what you do. Hopefully, the seller situation matches what's best for you, and I think you're gonna crush. That's what I think. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm gonna be more wary of the 6 minute thing just because that really threw me off last time. I forgot how short 6 minute actually was.
You didn't know how long 6 minutes was?
We're
Jasper
talking
son, ladies,
strictly
ladies,
within the
ladies,
context.
ladies and gentlemen.
We're talking strictly within the context
All
of
right.
a solo call.
We're gonna get through this. We got a lot of people we're gonna be pushing through, guys. Please show some love in the chat to Jasper. If you think he's gonna do a great job, tell him so. If you think he's gonna completely bomb, also let him know. But guys, what's gonna happen is I'm putting the timer on. He's gonna say ring ring. As soon as Savannah says hello, I hit the start on the timer. He has 6 minutes to make the magic happen. After that's done, Samir's going to share his screen. Myself, Samir, and Mike are going to be judges for the round. Anybody got any questions? No? Okay. I think we're good to go. Jasper, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Savannah, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right, ring ring.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hey Savannah. This is Jasper. I was giving you a call back on your place on Main Street. My partner mentioned something about you potentially being interested in selling that. Is that still the case?
Okay, yeah, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I was just reaching out to see what the whole situation was and like to see if we might be a good fit. Is everything okay?
Yeah, just get to the point. What?
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you're having a bad day. I just want to check in. So,
You
so
don't know
kind of
me?
tell me, like, catch me up on this. Like, what's going on with the whole situation? Like, what got you thinking about selling?
Just need to sell it. It's not working out.
What do you mean by that?
I have a tenant that's not paying and I need to sell the property pretty quickly, so hopefully you can just give me an offer.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely get you an offer. So have you like tried evicting? Like, what happened with the whole situation?
No, I just want to sell it. I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, I got you. Um, yeah, I mean, I can definitely help with that. Do you know kind of like how much?
I'm sorry, did you say your name was Jasper or Joe?
Yeah, my name is Jasper.
Okay. Can I just tell you give you like a quick rundown about the property and then you can just give me an offer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So it's a 3 bedroom, it's a 2 bath. It's pretty well updated. There's one bathroom that wasn't updated, so that needs to get updated. Um it's got a nice size yard, it's in a good community, it's got a good school district. The roof is new. It's about 2 years, yeah, 2 years old. It was just replaced when I bought it. Um
Wait, so you bought this a while ago and this happened like you had a renter in it and like he's not paying right
no, I
now?
just I just bought it 2 years ago.
Okay, I got you. Well, I'm sorry that's happening. I mean, it's like have you been like a landlord for a while? Like,
No, this is all really recent.
okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely help you out with the whole process here. I'm just a little confused as to like why you haven't tried evicting him yet.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go through that whole process and I don't really have time for that. I don't live in the same state, so it's just like too much and it's really expensive. So, I mean, can you buy this with the tenant in there or
Yeah, I can definitely buy it with the tenant in there. How much were
okay.
you looking for on the place?
Um, I mean, I mean, I don't like honestly, like at this point you could just take it for what I bought it for. I don't care. I just need someone that can do this quickly. So like, how fast can you close?
Okay, I mean, as long as title clears and like everything looks good, I mean, we should be able to close within like 30 to 60 days. That's not really the issue. The one thing that does concern me a little is just like, since you bought it 2 years ago with the whole market situation, I don't know like how good of a fit we would be as like a cash offer. Um, I do know that potentially we might be able to do something a little more creative on this, like a subject to. It's basically where we would just take over the payments and we would just
Yeah,
pay you.
I'm familiar with all of that, and I got a really good deal on it. So I mean, it's way under market value.
Okay. Do you know how much you owe on it? I just need to run some numbers. If you can kind of give me like the payments on it, how much you owe on it, I could take it back to the team. We can run some numbers and see what we can work out.
Yeah, I'm making payments to this guy. We
Wait, wait,
paid
wait. You're making payments to what guy?
to the owner.
Oh, so you actually seller finance this property.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I got you.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah, let me
basically
know how
like
much
just
you
didn't
owe.
have good credit, and so there was this opportunity for me to purchase a home. I lived in it for like a year, and I moved out. I had my real estate agent that helped me purchase it. She was help managing it. She moved in like her contractor. That guy never paid me anything, so I couldn't make the payments on it, and now I'm getting like all these like threats to take this to court, and they're gonna sue me and ruin my credit and all this stuff. So I honestly I just need something really, really quick. So I don't care about making any money on it. I don't really, I just need this off my plate. So like just tell me, like, can you do this quickly?
Yes, I can do it quickly. Savannah, I'm so sorry to hear like all of this is happening. Yeah, all honestly, like I can as long as I get all the information, I once I
Okay, what do
get
you need?
that, I
What do
can
you
run
need to
some
know?
numbers,
Yeah.
and then once I get all that, I can just give you a call back in like 30 minutes, kind of see what we can structure out. Can you just text me kind of the information on it, and then we can kind of take it from there?
Well, what do you want me to text you?
Oh no, I just have to run for a quick meeting. That's why.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. You can call me, but I don't really understand what exactly you need from me.
Oh, I just need the payment and how much you owe to in total, how much you're making monthly payments to this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can get me that information in like 30 minutes, I can run some numbers and then I'll give you a call back.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. I'm so sorry this is happening, Savannah. As soon as I run some numbers, I can definitely get you an offer and try to kind of take things off their plate. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
I hung up here.
You don't say bye where you're from, Jasper? Jesus, dude.
Oh
What's
shit.
wrong with you?
I got
My
it
guy
got in my
comes back
head.
from England and forgets basic grammar and courtesy. Shout out to Jasper. All right,
Word
man,
up.
coming in swinging. Guys, I want to. We don't. We normally share this. We're gonna get into the judging here in a second, but let me drop this in here. I want you guys to read the seller situation because we're going to go into the scoring here in a second. But I just want to give a big shout out. Jasper just came back. He was super sick. His entire family had salmonella. He was overseas. He came back. He's still jet lagged, and he did a really good job. Guys, look at the situation. The seller purchased a home on a wrap. She moved out of state, asked her agent to rent it and manage it for her. The real estate agent rented it to one of her friends. Tenant stopped paying. Original seller's threatening to ruin her credit, take her to court. She wants to sell before the court date, and she's going to need an eviction on top of it. That is a very unique, realistic, and complicated situation to uncover. And Jasper uncovered pretty much all of that in a matter of 6 minutes. So big kudos to you. Samir, I know you are not feeling the greatest right now. I'm going to see if we can find a replacement for you in the judging. Are you able to pull up the sheet and we can get the
Yeah.
ball rolling here?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna pull it up.
I
Oh,
knew
can I
that it
share?
was her friend. I didn't. These are some things I knew. Like there was something going on with the tenant as to like why she wasn't evicting the tenant. I thought it was like a friend situation, but I didn't know how to like bring that up with the time I had. Usually, I would have taken a lot longer. I would have gotten all the information on that call, but I saw that the clock was ticking, and I was like, "Oh my God, I I needed to just text me the information."
Yeah, no, I think it was really good. Samir, let us know when you're able to share the screen. We're going to get straight to the
Okay.
scoring.
Yeah, bro. I need you to allow me to host.
Oh, you're not co-host. My bad. So I'm the problem, is what I'm hearing. Gotcha. All right, we'll get this thing going. Boom. So you cleared everything out. All right, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and go first here. We'll let Mike go second. We'll let Samir go last because he's a little bit under the weather. I'm actually going to shoot a message, Samir. Samir, if you want to shoot a message while we're into the closer chat and see if we can get somebody to replace you, man. You're struggling over there.
I appreciate you.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Strength of intro. It was like, I've been doing these weird numbers because it was, so your intro was good. One thing that I've always had an issue with you is that your delivery of certain things is not my favorite, right? You stammer a little bit in your communication, and that was present throughout the conversation. Here's the thing. Sometimes that hurts a call. Sometimes it didn't. It doesn't. And it didn't hurt this call, right? It actually was a little tough at first, but I think encountering a red seller, dealing with all of this stuff, I think you recovered really, really well, all things considered. I'm going to go a little bit, I'm going to go 3.95. I can't give you a 4, but I think it was good enough to get you in there, right? Rapport building. This is another situation. What's rapport? We keep talking about this stuff, right? I don't think rapport is her wanting to, talk to you about her heart's, desires and her favorite color. I think the rapport is how well do you get through the conversation and get her to trust you to do the thing. She was very resistant at the beginning of this call. You struggle with red sellers. I thought you were going to lose this, but you didn't, right? You actually pushed through and did a great job. I'm giving you a 4 on rapport, right? Because she believed you by the end of the call and was ready to send you the information. Fact finding, uncovering motivations. I think you got everything except for like a court date, right? And there was a lot of stuff there. I'm going 4.5 on uncovering motivation. Now, guys, keep in mind, there's different judges here. Judges may score this stuff differently. When you're talking to sellers, sellers will have a different opinion on what you do in a conversation. Judges will too, right? And so that's why I'm judging the way I'm judging here. Overcoming objections, you had a couple of pushbacks. When you brought up creative finance, I actually thought you went way too early into sub 2. I don't know why you went too early into sub 2. And then she immediately pushed back on the sub 2. What's one of the things that we say a lot in here, guys? Sometimes, not always, sometimes the best way to overcome an objection is to ignore it. And that's exactly what you did. You just pushed past. And next thing you know, she's ready to send you the information. And that question that I thought was ill-placed is the reason that you uncovered the actual motivation in the situation, right? Whether it's luck, whether it was intentionality, your ability to overcome and push back the objection and not let it stop you is what uncovered the motivation. I'm giving you a 4.5 for doing that. Presentation of solutions, you didn't deliver the follow-up well. I would have liked when she said, "What do you need?" What I would have said is, send me everything you can possibly send me about this deal. What agreement you have, what numbers you have, what stuff you have from the attorney, what eviction stuff, everything you possibly have. I want you to send that to me because I want to be able to do the research and know what best offer I can offer. But your focus was less on what she needed and more on rescheduling the follow-up, right? Which is cool. You got the follow-up and you got it with plenty of time, but I think you lost out on getting some extra information there. So as presentation of solutions, I'm going to pull back on the presentation of solutions there. I'm going to go like 3.85 on that. You could have done better on the delivery of that. I don't think that warrants a 4 or above. You got a 5 for the strength of close and follow-up. Jasper, all things considered, considering that you were coming from a little bit of a deficit, I actually think you did a great job on this call, man. I think it was a tough situation, and I don't know if it was luck or magic or skill, but you managed to get all of that information on that seller situation, so I believe you deserve the points for that. Samir, you didn't put the 5.
Would you give him
What
the
happened?
follow-up?
5.
I didn't hear the
Yeah, he got the full follow-up. It's a 5.
Bro, this was so good. I agree with pretty much every single thing that DQ was saying. My score is very similar. Jasper, bro, I was impressed. Once she was red, I was like, don't do that to Jasper. Like I really had a feeling that probably within the first like minute and a half after you were going through it, I was like, dang, I don't know how this is gonna play out. So I have literally the same exact feedback pretty much as DQ does. So I'm going to 3.75 for the intro. Rapport, I'm doing a 4. Fact finding, 4.5. Overcoming objections. I kind of look at, what do you want to send me? Yeah, what do you want me to send you as one of the objections? And I just don't know if that delivery was there. So the end, literally, like honestly, bro, this could have been almost a perfect score if you crushed the end. But I think time, like as you saw 30 seconds pop up on the clock, you were like, crap, and that kind of stumbled you up. But also, what Daniel was saying, Daniel, what were you saying as far as his it's almost like a stumbledness that he has sometimes in the call.
Yeah, he just isn't fluid with his delivery. He stammers a little bit with his delivery.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that would have made this call. It would have made the seller really look forward to the next conversation. You see what I mean? The seriousness in your voice and the flow of the call. If you made it like, yo, dang, that guy Jasper got his stuff together and he's about to help me out by the end of the call to like really make sure that she was gonna answer the next phone call, that would have got you almost a perfect score. And that's like the only thing that you missed. And I think it was just time and just coming off a plane and stuff that didn't get you there. But anyways, with that being said, the overcoming of objections, I think that includes the text message that she talked about. And I think that you kind of stumbled on that a little bit. So I'm going to give a 4 on there. Other than that, you crushed what Daniel was saying. Presentation of solutions, I got to give you a 3.5 here because of the stumbleness in your voice. Follow up, I'm giving you a 5. You got the follow up.
Boom.
Oh, Jasper, my boy.
Right?
Great call, man. Genuinely a great call. I think you handled it super well. I'm gonna agree with Daniel on this. I don't know if it's the luck of the draw or how the call played out, but there was a couple moments where I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And I'm gonna say that all the things went your way. Like, you made a couple of choices there and they all played out super well. So I'm gonna give you the 4 on the intro. I don't know. I feel like part of the stammering is almost a choice. Like I know you're trying to not sound robotic. And I haven't wanted to kill people too much on the intros for their choices on it. So I think you delivered it pretty well, but I agree. I personally like coming in with a little more confidence. So I'll give you the 4 on that. Rapport, I'll stick with everyone. I'll give you a 4 on that as well. I think the convo went pretty well. There was a couple points where it could have went bad, but she stayed on board and it seemed like she trusted me. She was giving the info. Fact finding, I'm gonna give you a 5, man. Honestly, like the way I think of it is because this was a weird situation, and we've had people get weird situations, and I genuinely like the fact that you caught the rap thing because I saw she gave you the window on the rap. I did not think you were gonna get that when she said that she was making payments. Great catch. That's a great catch. I think most people would have missed that. I know you didn't get the court date, but I think all things considered, you got like 99% of the information. It was a complex situation, so I'll give you a 5 on that. Overcoming objections, I'll give you a 4.5. I'll give you a 4.5 on that just because there was a point where she asked for the offer, and now this might have been on Savannah. I thought she was going to bring it back up, but you didn't give her an offer. She basically forgot about it in the flow of the conversation. Again, that could have been just that working in your favor, or it could have been a tactical play to kind of push it off so she doesn't bring it back up, but it did work. You got past that. Presentation solutions will probably be a little bit harder on you for the sake of consistency because it's been with everyone else. I think you set the stage for it. I think you mentioned that you were going to get the information. It's where I think a lot of people have had a tough time so far in the competition, which is like setting up solutions as opposed to actually being able to give them, which is it's tough in the time. But I think you were getting towards it. You just didn't really get a lot of solutions out there. And a 5 on the follow-up. You got the follow-up.
Let's go. With Jasper pulling into second place in the competition, right behind Jeff Smith himself. This is not a horrible place to be. Jasper, I got some feedback on this. Dude, you got 150 people here watching you live, right? You got a couple more on YouTube. Dude, like you had a lot going against you. But you pulled it out. So talk to us, give us your feedback on the feedback, give us your feedback on how you felt during the call. Fill us in, bro.
So I don't know if I did as good as Jeff's call. I thought Jeff's call was really clean, but yeah, for the intro thing, I've gotten DQ's feedback, and I absolutely agree with that. For this one, as soon as I heard her pick up, I saw that she was a little lower energy, so I didn't go in with like the DQ's advice on this one. I honestly, I should have just done that, like with the confidence in with it. But as DQ said, like I do have like that stammering from time to time, and I really did get thrown off when she asked me why why she had to text me, and I was like, oh shit. I can't tell her I'm on a role play, and so I'm chased by time. So I was like, I have a meeting I have to run to. So I definitely think there was like some trip ups that I had there.
No, here's one of the things I'll say. And if you guys notice somebody that's in like third or fourth place right now, which is Thomas. And here's one of the things that I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. Don't get me wrong. You get the Jeff Smiths of the world who just sound fluid, and you know, you got Pace who's like super buttery on these phone calls. And it's an experience to listen to him talk. That's all great. Don't get me wrong. That is a selling point on a phone call, but it's not a requirement. You can still make great progress on sales calls without those things. And Jasper, you demonstrated that tonight. Thomas, when he did his call, he demonstrated it tonight. And what's funny is I think when a lot of new people listen to calls like this and they're not sure how sales is supposed to go, they listen to a call like yours, they listen to a call like Thomas's, and they're like, oh yeah, well, that's not that great call. Why would I score that good? Because they're not listening to the technique in the conversation. They're listening to stuff that doesn't really matter. And you demonstrated, bro, that those are the things that really matter. You got to the core points. You listened very well. That active listening, what Samir said, bro, the fact that you caught when she says that she had to pay her rent and you were like, wait, yo, what do you mean? Right? Bro, so many people would be so nervous they would skip that. And it was the linchpin of how well this call went for you. So, bro, you did all of the right things. How you sound is something you can work on. But the things that you really need to focus on, you did a fantastic job on. And I think it's why you're in second place. And I think it's a very deserved score. Now, obviously, you got to step it up because the live calls in the main event, if you do make it there, it's a whole other animal, right? But congratulations, bro. I think you earned that second place spot today without question.
That was good, bro.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Shout out to Jasper coming out the gate. All right, so who do we have next? It was Sergio. Beanbo, where you at, man? I put a message in the closer chat to see if we got anybody that could step in and judge tonight because Samir decided to have COVID or whatever you got. Bro, why are you not feeling good? You didn't know you had a responsibility this evening?
I tried. I got whatever Caroline got the other day.
Okay.
I'm missing the blanket. I need a blanket.
You need a blanket, bro.
I would. Oh,
you got to just snuggle up. I don't know why you don't have a Snuggie. Samir not having a Snuggie doesn't make sense to me.
I like to be presentable at all times, and I feel like a Snuggie is.
You are their target audience, bro. Like Snuggie, when they picture a target audience, it's a dude with colorful hearts in his background.
That's true. I do have a robe. I could get a robe.
I think you should rock a robe or a robe. All right, cool. Sergio, Beanbo, you here, man?
I'm in here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can't see you though. So what do we need to do to remedy this, sir?
You want to see me?
Yeah, we want to see you. People want to know who they're going to be witnessing do the performance this evening.
Hold on, let me take my stuff.
Are you showering before the gym again, bro? What are you doing?
Showering before my turn.
Okay.
Wait, so why do you need to see me?
Because it's the nature of the competition. Everybody else got their camera on, bro. You can do it too. You got this. Are you nervous, Sergio? Tell the truth. You're an integrator that decided to sign up for a sales competition. Also, where are the rest of your business partners? Did they sign up for their days?
They should be going next week, right?
All right. I don't know.
Kevin told me he was up on Monday.
Sign up sheets are not my category, right? I'm just trusting that you guys are doing the thing. Guys, we joke around a lot about this guy right here. We call him Beanbowl because the other day he was at Chipotle during the Zoom, and we just assumed that's what he ordered. So now that's his nickname. So when you see Sergio on the streets, please refer to him as Beanbowl. He's requested that everybody address him as such. But his team came in. He's got 3 people on his team. It's 3 of you guys, right?
Yeah.
And every single one of them tried out in the open run. Every single one of them got voted into the actual competition. And Sergio's the integrator, right? So Sergio came in and surprised everybody. And what was crazy about your call is that your call I decided should like I thought was a worthwhile call because of the way you navigated that conversation. But here's the thing, Sergio. That was a unique call, and you had the opportunity to choose any call that you wanted, right? This isn't different. We're not shaping this to you. You got to shape your skills to the call, right? So how
Maybe
you
the
feeling
seller's
about
also
that?
going to be. Maybe the seller's also going to be so grateful I called them.
Here's the
You know
thing,
what I
right?
mean?
It's a random wheel. Savannah just randomly selects this and then channels her inner 74th personality to become exactly what the will tells her to be. So we don't know how this is going to be, but you've been hearing this, you've been seeing this, you know what you're up against. You've put a lot of energy into the chat, man. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just a conversation at the end of the day.
Okay, I like it. So you understand the assignment, right? You got 6 minutes. You have a list of criteria that you're going to be judged on. Your goal is to not only do as much as you can in the conversation, but make sure you're covering all of the important topics that you're going to be scored on. And you got to be able to do it within a 6-minute time period, right? So there's a couple of things that you got to manage, including the clock. Are you prepared for this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't think anybody believed you, but as long as you believe you, that's all that matters. Do you have any questions? There he goes with the camera off. Do you have any questions before we get started, bro?
I'm putting my timer. That's why I put the camera on.
Okay. Do your thing, man.
Do I have any questions? No.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Fellas, did you guys get the motivation in the chat?
Yes, sir.
All right. We got the criteria. Samir, can you go ahead and paste the criteria into the chat, man, so people can see this?
Yo, this is Samir's flu game, bro.
His what?
His flu game.
Yeah. I'm trying, Lizanne. I'm trying to get some other people in here to replace Samir. We got to find somebody to replace Mike. It's a Friday night. We got a lot of people going, so we're just making the most out of it. Okay, I'm reading the motivation real quickly, guys, so I can make sure we're scoring them on this thing right. Okay, I like this. This makes sense to me. There's the criteria in the chat, everybody. This is what he's going to be scored on. Yes, Gary, it's happy hour. Get your drinks in. Pour yourself something nice and safe. And we're getting ready. 150 people on the button, getting ready to watch Sergio show the world that integrators can do more than integrate. They can close too. Savannah, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Sergio, are you ready? Bro, if it makes you feel more comfortable to leave your camera off, you're welcome to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I think he's on his phone, so he probably can't
No,
watch
that's
the
fine. Do
timer
your thing.
at the same time.
Focus on your call, man. You do what you got to do. When you say ring, ring, as soon as Savannah says hello, the timer starts. You got 6 minutes to do your thing. Ball's in your court, brother.
All right. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Savannah, this is Sergio. I was actually just giving you a call because it looks like you spoke with somebody from my team about your property here at 123 Main Street. Is that still available?
Yeah, that one's still available.
Okay, awesome. Do you mind catching me up to speed? I only have a couple minutes to speak. What's going on?
I just have this property that I inherited, so I'm just seeing if I can, I guess like I want the highest offer for it.
Oh, you inherited the house.
Yeah, so I've just been checking around to see what's the best, price I can get for it.
Right, right. Okay. Has it gone through probate yet?
Yeah, that part's already done. It's already in my name.
Okay. So were you the personal representative when it went through probate?
It was just like my dad left it in his will to me, and then like I have full ownership. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like usually when there's a probate, there's like somebody that's in charge of the estate to like manage the estate and get the money from it. But you said it already went through probate and everything. So so you have this property. What's even got you interested in selling it?
It's not like completed all the way. My dad, he was like fixing it up. He was an investor, so he was like fixing it up. and he unfortunately, passed before it was completed.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. How long ago was that?
Thank you. It actually happened 6 months ago. I mean, it still feels really recent. Um, I'm sorry, I don't want to get emotional about it, but I definitely just need, help with the house. So tell me maybe a little bit about yourself or your company and how you can help me.
Yeah, for sure. So it's me and my partner, we actually buy properties here in the area. A lot of times when we buy houses, depending on what the situation is, like if the house needs a lot of work, we're actually looking to do like a fix and flip. A lot of times when the houses are like in great condition, we'd be looking to maybe keep the property in our portfolio. Sounds like this one needs some work because you said he started the renovations, right?
Yeah, yeah, he had started the renovations, but it wasn't completed, so it needs a lot of work. And I would probably say it's probably not even safe to enter. I got some notices on when I went by the property, so I don't know if I can even show it to you, but
Oh wow. What's been going like what's going on? What do you mean not safe to enter?
I think it's just like the condition, or maybe because it's been sitting there for a little bit of time, but I got a notice that it was like red tagged by the city.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you even seen the place then?
I mean, I've gone to the property, but I haven't like, gone. It's not really. I don't know. I don't know if I would feel safe going in there in the condition it's in right now, but
Okay.
um,
Well, the nice thing about working with us is that like you don't have to worry about the condition it's in. We take care of all of that for you. We do buy properties as is. So if we were to like buy this house, you wouldn't have to worry about like going into the house. We would manage all of that.
okay.
So having said all that, my goal here is to help you. It's never to talk you into doing anything. So, are there any other like decision makers or anybody that needs an input on you selling the house?
Well, I mean, it is just my house, but I'm been feeling a lot of pressure from some family members. They want to purchase the house from me, but I've just been like doing some research, and I just feel like maybe I could, get more for the property than what they're offering. So, yeah, like I said, I'm checking around to see what's the highest offer I can get. I'd love to see, what
Okay.
that number might be for you and your team. Maybe you could just, put some information together and send it to me so I can look it over.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what have you done so far to get this thing sold?
Um, I I did like reach out to a few websites that said they buy as is houses. So I'm not sure if that's like where you found my information, but yeah, I filled out those websites, and then I was thinking I could like maybe reach out to like an appraiser or something, someone that can do like a market analysis report or something like that, so I can make sure that I'm getting the most I can from the property.
Okay, and how much did you say you're looking to get for it?
I haven't done that yet. I think that'll probably be my next step.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Because you still don't know what you're looking to get for the house. So in the meantime, I'm thinking we can maybe schedule a follow-up tomorrow, and then I can have my team kind of look into the area, look into the comparatives, figure out kind of what the house qualifies for before we even come inside and kind of take a look at it. And then maybe you can do some research on your end and kind of figure out what the magic number is, and then we'll have a conversation tomorrow and we'll figure out if we're able to get this thing settled for you. How does that sound?
Yeah, that would be great, but I mean, is there any information you could share with me now?
Well, that's what we're going to be doing. That's why we're going to do our research. But we'll give you a call tomorrow and then we can take it from there. Is that
And
fair?
that is time.
Yes. Yes, tomorrow is great.
Savannah is a pro at destroying people's follow ups. They will literally say, let's call tomorrow. And then she'll sit there quietly for 8 seconds and be like, So
You know what?
can we talk more now though?
You know what, Daniel? But it does say it's a bonus, so make them earn that bonus.
You do you. You're the seller. Who am I to tell you how to sell? That being said, good stuff, Sergio. Let's go ahead. Let's get straight to the scoring. Let's get the ball rolling here. Samir, go ahead and pull that up. We're trying to get a replacement here for Samir. Mike, I will let you go first tonight. You feel comfortable going first tonight?
Yeah, bro.
All right, we're gonna let Mike go first. I'll follow it up. We'll let Samir wrap up the scoring on this, and I'm interested to see where these numbers land for Sergio.
Sergio, good call, bro. I like this call. I like a lot about this call. Gonna go strength to intro. I'm gonna give you a 3.75 here. I think the intro was good. I think it was fine. I don't think it was anything extraordinary. I don't think it was like spectacular, but I also just think that it was a little bit above average. You went in there, you had a good tone, you got right into it. So I'm not gonna score you super high, not gonna score you super low on that one. Rapport building, I think you did a good job here of just like really understanding her situation. And caring about her situation, especially her father, when her father passed away. This is what I really like. When somebody says that their, significant other dies or their parents die or something like that, I like to go in and lean into that and figure out like, dang, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, did that just happen? Right? Like I want to lean into it to really genuinely care. Not like, well, dang, I'm sorry that happened. So what's going on with the sale? You see what I mean? A lot of people will feel like they're being genuine by acknowledging it and validating it, but they're not marinating that in a little bit. Sometimes though, you got to realize that it isn't a situation where you should marinate because they might be very emotional or something and it might kill the call. But here you understood that just marinating it just the right amount of time, it was good, bro. And then she started getting emotional about it, and then you kind of like ease your way out of it, which is good. So it was really, really good, bro. So I'm going to give you a rapport building. I'm going to give you a 4.5 because of that. Fact finding and uncovering motivation. Man, I was going to give you, I was thinking about this probably like 4 minutes into it. I was like, dang, fact finding, he's probably going to end up at like a 3. And then you got the uncle thing where her family members were, nagging her about it. So I'm going to give you a 4.25 here because I would have given you a 5 if you got this last thing. If we read the motivation, the last part of it, which is very, very important if you're going to get a deal done with this person, is she does not trust people. That's why she asked you, hey, can you just send me something now? And if we were able to get that, that would have put us in a much better opportunity. We would have been able to overcome a lot of objections that you didn't have to overcome later on in the sale. I just had a deal that I screwed up. Guy asked me for like my personal name and my LLC and all that type of stuff towards the end of the call. And I ended up just giving it to him, but I did not marinate it in it just a little bit, like enough. So what happened was I ended up giving. Go ahead.
Did he sue you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
He was doing it because he was a very analytical person. But like that's something that I should have noticed. You see what I'm saying? And it ended up hurting me later on. Same thing with this. If you realize that she wasn't really trusting a lot of people, then later on down the line, you would be helped out. So overcoming objections, I'm going to give you a 4. Presentation of solutions, man. There really wasn't a solution that was presented entirely. I know there was like hypotheticals and all that type of stuff. But what really needs to happen is the seller needs to feel like, yo, I am going to lose out if I don't answer the next call. So if you can do that somehow, some way to present a solution. So it's like, hey, Savannah, I know you're going through this. Listen, I am going to try my absolute best. I cannot make any promises, but what would it look like if we could do this, that, and the other, and you're solving all their problems? She's going to be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want. So then she'll answer the next call later on, rather than just saying, well, the good thing about us is we don't, you don't have to fix anything with us. So if you go with us, it's going to be good for you. You see what I mean? It's just a little bit different. You really got to sell that solution part. So for the presentations of solutions, I'm going to give you a 3. Strength and follow-up. Savannah was tough with you. Savannah was tough with you. You were like halfway there. I'm going to give you a 3.5 for that.
Yeah, interesting. I agree with a lot of what Mike says here. Strength of intro, I'm going exactly the same thing with 3.85. Give it an A5. Here's why. Your intro is actually decent. But then at the end, you were just like, the way you asked her to tell you about it was like super blunt and just kind of like weird. It was less welcoming, and I think that took that away. Give it a 4. Give him a 4. I'm gonna give him a 4 for that. It wasn't horrible. It was one line. I think the intro itself was okay. It was just the way you transitioned. It was just weird. I think a part of the intro is what makes them feel comfortable about continuing to talk, and I think that you killed a lot of it, which is where I went 3.85, but it's fine. We'll move forward with that. Rapport building, I'm going 4.25. Because I think you said the right things. I don't know that your tonality was believable. And here's the thing. I don't think that that's necessarily meaning that it was inorganic. But I think if you're going to do well at sales, you got to recognize when something about you doesn't bridge a gap, and you have to bridge it differently. Case in point with Jasper's call. Jasper's communication isn't fluid. So he bridges the gap by being poignant in certain things. And if something about your tone is missing in the rapport, you got to bridge it by doing other things. And so I think you did a great job by asking about the family. I think to Mike's point, you pulled back when you were supposed to, but there was just something missing. I couldn't go a little higher with that, but I think you did a great job. Fact-finding, uncovering motivation, same thing, 4.25. You got pretty much everything there. But I personally believe the reason you didn't get the trust is because the rapport wasn't all the way there. You didn't have that gap. And I think that when you guys understand the flow of a conversation, what you do affects everything else. So at the very beginning, if the way you had transitioned your intro was more welcoming and a little bit about your tone was a little bit more welcoming, then that welcoming tone creates a place of comfort, which makes her more comfortable to open up to you, right? So something as little about the way you transition that intro from being abrupt to being welcoming can make a difference on how she opens up to you at the end. So little things like that. Overcoming objections, I'm going to give you a 4 for that. Presentational solutions, I'm not going to knock you as much on the presentation of solutions, because here's something that I've said many, many times. I don't think that a presentation of solution in the context of this or in any sales conversation means you have to present a solution to their problem, right? Sometimes for a conversation, the most appropriate solution is a follow-up. If I recognize that you're at a point where you've heard as much as your brain can process from me, and there's really not much more about this conversation that I can add value to, the best thing for me to say to you is, you know what? Let me just run some numbers. I don't want to make you any promises I can't keep. I think your situation's a little bit tough. Let me talk to my team. Let me see what I can figure out for you. When's a good time for us to follow up and finish this conversation? That's the direction that I'm going. That's the direction that you went. Maybe you could have done a little bit more in offering it, but you couldn't have offered it based on the conversation you had. You would have had to have a better conversation to be able to offer more. But I think what you offered based on the context was fine. I'm gonna give you a 4. Strength to close, a follow up. You got most of the ways there. Savannah, cut your legs out from under you. I'm giving you a 4.25 for that.
I'm still muted. Okay. I'll go through mine. Intro, I'm also gonna give you a 4. I don't want to lean into preference, but I like the shorter intros. So I think it was clean. There's always room for, just delivering it that little bit better, but I think you got to the point. I agree on the transition probably being a little too abrupt, but I think you got into it. And I think it stopped you from stumbling over yourself. You kept it short, you got into your flow. So 4 on that. Rapport building, I'm actually gonna give you a 4 on that. I feel like you were pleasant in the conversation. I think the convo went relatively well. I think you were just missing that connection a little bit, which kind of reflected stuff through the conversation. We've talked about a lot with the rapport. If it was just about how pleasant we came across, it'd be a little bit different than that connection and having that trust. I think you were mostly there, but I do agree with Daniel also on that. You could have maybe done something a little bit different to kind of take it to that next step. Actually, Savannah, quick question for you. On the fact find, did the mechanics lien come up at all?
No, we didn't really get into that.
Okay, so lean on that. Okay, so I'm not going to dig you too much on that either. I do think I was worried about the uncle thing. Actually, kind of like Mike said, I wasn't sure you were going to get to the point with the uncles. So I'm going to give you a 4 on that as well. There's a lot of 4s here. Yeah, I think you got a lot of the information. It would have been good to know, like what the lien is for, to kind of address that up front. What was the issue that caused it to get there? Overcoming objections, also giving you a 4. I have a lot of 4s here. Yeah, I think as the objections came up, you handled them relatively well. I think it was more about just the flow of the conversation. I think for whatever flow the convo got into early on, it kind of just stayed in that pocket all the way through, which was neither great, but it definitely wasn't bad either. Like it was just a solid call. Like I think you had a pretty good call with the seller all the way through. Presentation of solutions, I'm actually going to go 3. It was a setup. I'm going to keep it consistent with the way with everyone else. I think it was a setup for solutions. You know, I don't think I only think there's so far you can get in these combos as far as presenting a solution. You're obviously not going to sit there and pitch her a whole, an offer with a specific term or something like that. But the best you can do is let them know that you're going to gather the information and get back in touch with them. So I gave it 3 on that. That's what I've been getting everyone, you know, who hasn't been able to get any deeper than that. Follow up. Savannah got you right at the end. I'm going to give you a 4. I think you were most of the way there. You know, I think you could have probably just a couple more sentences and you could have just locked it in there. But I'm going to give you 4 on that as well.
Boom. Not a horrible score, Sergio. Guys, when you listen to a Sergio, this goes back to similar what we were talking about. This is where a good process can hurt you and help you, right? I think a good process, understanding what you wanted to get accomplished in this helped you, but I also think it hurt you, right? You spent a good 45 seconds asking her about the probate process, 60 seconds. It was a complete waste of time. In my head, I'm like, why is he talking about this, right? Like, did you go through probate? If you really want to even ask that, fine. But I just didn't feel like that was a necessary direction for you to go. And what happens is when you're not flexible about what's important for the conversation you're having because your sales process doesn't permit you to do that, you leave opportunity on the table. It happens in the competition. It happens in real life. But all in all, I think your overall willingness to just navigate a conversation, act like you care about what needs to happen, I think it puts you so far in the top 5. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are going to be going after this, so we don't really know what's going to play out in the scores. That being said, how do you feel about the feedback? How do you feel about how you did, man?
Well, I agree with all the feedback that you guys are giving me. So it's really good feedback. I'm glad to be in the top 5 so far. There's still like 20 people that are left. So it's going to be very tough getting into the top 8, but hopefully we make it in somehow.
Anything's possible, man. It's been a tough go so far. Last time we did this, we had people in the 80s out the gate. Right now, top 6, top 70s are a tough thing to get. And it could be a number of factors. Maybe it's just the high quality seller that we're throwing at you guys. We don't really know. But that being said, it's been really, really interesting. Congratulations, dude. I think you did a great job, and it's going to be exciting to see how the rest of this plays out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Bean Bowl, everybody. Throw a bean emoji in the chat.
Sergio, good job, my bro.
Appreciate that, bro. I was so nervous. It was crazy.
Were you nervous, man? Were you nervous?
I was super nervous. I was super nervous the first 30 seconds. And then after that, I was good.
Yeah, bro. It's like you get in a fight or you're on the football field. You just got to get that one hit and you're good, bro.
You get in a fight.
No,
That's
I don't
the
fight.
example? Okay.
I'm just saying.
No, that's cool. It's cool. I mean,
he took that deep breath and got in his groove.
You don't remember being a little kid, bro, and there was like a scheduled fight at the baseball fields after school, and you were in the fight. Like leading up to that fight was scary, bro.
Everybody, the first time I really experienced those is when I lived in Florida. In New Mexico, they normally just jumped you, so you didn't really have a lot of time to plan for that. But I remember the first time I saw a scheduled fight, I was in Orlando. I went to Dr. Phillips. I think some of the new kids on NSYNC people went to that school. So it's like a complete paradigm shift for me. Like kids were driving BMWs. I'm like, what are you doing here? And I remember the first time they had a scheduled fight, it was like TV. People were like marching from different directions. Yeah, they had this whole blocked off area, and the dudes just walked around staring at each other in the face for like 45 seconds and then walked away. I was like, what just happened right now? Like, what was all the hype for? I waited all day for this thing. Nothing happened. It was a big letdown. But shout out to you, Beanbowl, for getting past the nerves and making a great call. That being said, Savannah, let's pull up this spinner wheel, and let's see who's going next. And in Spanish, his name is Arroz con Llamadas.
Daniel, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick.
Wash your hands, pumpkin.
I got you.
All right.
Did we get another judge or not yet?
Nah, we just,
okay.
we're getting, nobody's responding. We're going to have to just forfeit. Mike for no reason. Ra, let's go. Spin the rest of them out. Let's get the order for the rest of them out. If Mike's got to go last, Mike can go last. Calls, Roman, it's calls. Dylan, wrapping it up with Tim. Well, probably wrapping it up with Mike, but all right. That's the situation here. Ra, what's going on, man? It seems like it's been a long time since you were up here. There's a lot of people who have come through since you did your tryout. How are you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Got a little nerves, but you know, I know Savannah's gonna take it easy on me.
Sure.
Wait, I need an evil laugh.
Was that your evil laugh?
Yeah, one of my personality's evil laughs.
There you go. Jasper's like, that's not evil at all. Stop it. Okay, Ross, so obviously the first round tryouts were a little bit different, right? Because you had a golden glove, you had people who could vote for you. It was a whole different situation. Now you're getting scored and you're being judged on a very strict criteria. Have you been watching what this has been evolving into? Have you been seeing the feedback? Have you been practicing? Talk to us.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I've been just trying to do my best. You know, taking it step by step. But yeah, I've been doing it.
Okay. Nothing about that was encouraging. But that being said, I'm glad you've been watching. I hope you're ready. Did you or did you not? Have you or have you not practiced?
I'm trying to be humble. I'm trying to be humble.
Oh, so you don't be humble. You heard Sergio Bimbo was out here throwing his, his skills all over the place. His sign-up sheet says, "I am him." Okay, he's gonna stay humble. Savannah, did you have your situations ready?
It's spinning right now. Give me
Spinning
2
right now.
seconds.
One in the chat if you think Ra's gonna do good. 2 in the chat if you think he's gonna do great. Positively only, yo. That's it. We'll let the competitors talk trash to each other. Mike's doing a number 2, guys. That's why it's taking him so long. So we're gonna acknowledge that to all of the 150 people that are here, and we're gonna just fill space. Shout out to Samir. He shut his camera off, but bro, you should rock a robe way more often, my guy. You look quite distinguished in the getup. Is all I'm saying. Right? Look at this guy. Look at him. Quite distinguished. You look like this is how you go to the grocery store.
I don't know if I've ever left my house I definitely have left my house in a robe before.
I think you can pull it off. I think you could definitely pull it off.
It is comfortable. It is comfortable. I appreciate the what is it? The permission to be comfortable. Is there like an
embroidered thing on the front there? Is that what I'm saying? Is that your family crest?
No, it's a logo.
It's a logo. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mike is done pooping. Samir hates when people say the word poop because he doesn't think everybody poops.
We all really just talking about me, like.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got to do what you got to do, man. It happens to the best of us. Samir doesn't like it. Samir's very uncomfortable that you chose to do that during a Zoom that he's a part of because this conversation makes him feel awkward. But we're here to talk about it. It's a family, and families talk about tough things. That being said, all right, Ra's going, Mike, right? Ra's the guy that's up next. We're going to be judging him. He knows the situation. Thank you. He's not leaving me alone. Every time I put him down, he starts scratching at me because he wants to be up here with me. Rod knows the situation. Samir's Savannah, are you ready with your whole deal? You just sent it to us? Okay. So we're gonna read this.
Savannah, can you send it one more time to me, please?
Don't read it out loud, Samir.
I'll try not to.
That's not as bad as Eddie the other night when I sent him the scenario and he thought I was sending him a deal. He was like, "Oh my God, no way, text me right now."
So here's what we're gonna do, guys. Just for everybody, I'm gonna give you guys a quick update as to what's happening. There's gonna be people who are watching this who have not been here for the whole entire situation. Obviously, this competition is leading up to something bigger. Right now, for this round, we're doing role play. Round 2 is role play. We're challenging you on a bunch of scenarios. Savannah has a random wheel that not only rotates the random scenario, but it also rotates her personality type. So everything that you guys get is completely randomized. We've seen that play well for some people. We've seen that really, really throw people off and hurt them, right? So that's what the situation is. You've got a random situation, a random caller, a random like motivation, as well as a random personality type. And your job is within a 6-minute period of time to overcome these things. Why are we doing all this random stuff? Why are we hitting you with all the curveballs? Because real calls will have curveballs. And it's my belief that, you know, why do people who train in athletics train with weights on their legs, right? So when the weights come off, they're better. We want to put you in harder circumstances than this, so that way, if you do qualify to make it to the live event, you're stronger and in a better position to stand next to names like Pace Morby and other heavy hitters in this space, right? That's what we're here to do here. Appreciate you, Jesse. So that's what the goal is, right? So that's why the situations are what they are. Obviously, he doesn't know what that is. The judges do, and he will be graded, as you've seen afterwards, by his ability to uncover those things and present solutions for the circumstance that he's presented with. That being said, he's got 6 minutes. When he says ring, ring, Savannah's going to say hello. Once she says hello, the timer starts, and he's got 6 minutes to make everything happen. Any final questions, Rob, before we get you started?
Yeah, can I do the same thing as Sergio? Because I have to look at my phone and the timer. You might not be able to see me. Is that okay?
Yes, you can definitely do that. I think he's just asleep, Lizanne. I think let that man take a nap on Zoom. Lots of people sleep on Zoom.
Okay.
All right. Let us know when you're ready. Are you good to go,
I-
Rob? All right, Savannah, are you good to go? Was that a yes? You got to say it out loud, Savannah.
I'm ready.
Fantastic. All right, whenever you're ready, bro.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello, who is this? Why are you calling me 3 times in a row? Is there some kind of emergency?
Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Savannah?
Yeah?
Hey, Savannah. No, it's the first time I'm calling you. My name is Rob Grayson. How you doing today?
I'm okay, except my phone being blown up.
Okay. Well, I was just calling to see if you were looking to sell that property on 123 Main Street. I got a note on my desk. Is that certain?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, I just want to take about maybe 5 to 6 minutes just to see if I might be a good fit. If not, I'd like to be able to buy the property. If so, then I'd like to see if I can help you get it sold. Is that okay?
Okay. What do you got for me?
All right. Well, let me ask you, man, but besides my call, what's got you interested in selling?
Missing husband, I guess. Dipped
Missing
out on me
husband?
and the kids.
Oh my goodness.
I know. What
Mm.
kind of father? What kind of father?
So wait, hold on. So your husband left and left you with the kids? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How you going through that? How's that going?
How do you think I'm going? How do you think like this whole situation?
Yeah, I can imagine it's rough. It must be really rough. How long ago did he leave?
I haven't heard from him in 5 months. He just left me stuck here with the kids. I've never worked. I've been a stay-at-home mother, and I got bills I need to pay. So I'm sorry, I forget what you said your name was. If you can help me, if you can, figure this out, if you can, I don't want to sell the house, but if I need to,
Right, absolutely. Well, I mean, if you do happen to sell the house, where would you go?
I have no clue. I really don't.
Oh
Do
my
you have a
goodness.
place do you have something you can recommend?
Well, definitely. I mean, I do have a couple of people that might be able to help you transition from where you're at to where you need to be. I mean, obviously, going through this is rough. Um, well, wow. Okay. So let me ask you, is that been the biggest challenge for you? Is just you not being able to pay I guess, do you have a mortgage on the property?
Yeah, there is a mortgage on the property. I haven't paid anything.
Okay,
He took
got you.
everything and left.
Oh my
I can
God.
barely feed the kids. It's been really rough. I did go down to the county office and um got some like emergency stuff.
Got you. So you need money now, right now. Eh, Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What? My goodness. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out because I mean, I did have a seller one time go through pretty much the same scenario. I was able to help her out by giving her the money that she needed. I mean, she was able to sell her property with me. And I know that's probably what you want to do as well. I just want to make sure that it might work out. So, oh my
Well, how
goodness.
did you do that? How did you help her?
Well, basically, she had a price. She was able to give me a certain a price for her property, and then from there, I was able to just purchase it. And I mean, it's obvious. It's that's definitely something that I know you need to do. Um, are there any other challenges besides, I guess, you not paying for the mortgage that you might be going through now? And I know the husband left. Is there anything else that maybe I might need to know?
I just need to find out where me and the kids are gonna go.
Okay. All right. Got you. Got you. All right. So, this is what I want to do. What time frame would you might be thinking that you might have to leave, or what are you working with exactly, or how
I
can I
keep
help?
I keep getting notices on the door, but to be honest, like I haven't even opened any of them. So until someone comes and pulls me out of this house, I guess I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. So does that mean that you might be going through a pre-foreclosure?
I guess, yeah. I'm assuming that's what happens, when the bills aren't paid.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then I know we have to move quick. Um, okay. So do you know how much money you would need in your pocket to move you to the next journey?
I mean, I'm thinking like if we can just squeeze into a small apartment, but I don't know how I'm gonna qualify because, I don't have that much income right now. So it might maybe if there's like, I don't know, some like low income, maybe something I have to see. I mean, we don't mind even if it was a one bedroom, if it's just a safe place we can go to. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can work on doing that for you. Get you to just a safe place. I also want to make sure I get some money in your pocket. Do you happen to know, with just the way the property is now, how much you'd sell it for?
I don't know I honestly don't. I don't know anything about, that. I just need money to move and I need a place to go. That's my biggest concern.
Right. Okay. I got you. All right. So this is what I want to do. I only have a couple of seconds left. What I want to do is set up a follow-up. Maybe I can come by the property, meet you, meet the kids, and just kind of see if I can just create a certain solution where we can just be able to.
And that is time,
Yes,
ladies and
come by right
gentlemen.
now. Yes. I should have just jumped in there and been like, yes.
Savannah coming for the redemption.
Uh,
What an interesting call to give feedback on. All right, let's get into this. Let's share the screen and get going. Mike, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? I didn't hear you, bro.
I said it's up to you, boss.
I'll run it. We'll alternate this out, I guess. All right, Ra, this is like, bro, I have legit mixed emotions about this entire call. Like everything about every single one of these steps is mixed emotions for me, right? Strength of intro. She came at you swinging, and you combated that thing like a fire marshal, right? Like you put that fire out instantly. But then it took you another 50 seconds to get through the intro. I was like, I literally looked at the time, and it took you exactly 50 seconds to get through your intro, right? An intro should be 5 to 10 seconds. And so that's going to become the tone for the rest of this conversation. If I was getting you for just the way you overcame that, it was a 5, but then it just like slowly started kind of coming down. I hate that this is a number I'm going through so much because I just don't know. I'm going 3.85. I'm sorry. I'm going 3.85. It's not 4.95, Savannah. It took him 50 seconds to get past hello and say why he was there as a part of the call. And that 50 seconds would have helped him actually schedule a follow-up, right? All of this stuff matters. And the reality is if a person's that nasty at the beginning, taking a minute to get to the point is a great way to have them yell at you again anyways. Didn't happen in this situation. I'm not going to grade him lower, because if you hadn't come at him harder, if you hadn't come at him like that and it had taken them that long, he would have got like a 2. So that 3.85, almost a 4, is because he overcame that answer as well as he did. Rapport building, I'm going for 0.35. This is how mixed emotions I am with this. Guys, you remember when I was talking to Sergio about the tone that he needed, that he lacked in his rapport? Ra had it in spades. That's the tone that I was looking for. Here's the problem. He moved in and only lived in that tone and didn't actually get down to business. And as a result, what would have been a 5 rapport cost him in the rapport points, because he never actually got to helping the person, right? He just lived in rapport. This is tough. He said that like 15 times, right? And so it was just like overdone. And as a result, it lost the opportunity. You do it, you get the benefit from it, you let it be genuine, and then you get to business, because rapport is more than just making them feel comfortable, right? Fact-finding and uncovering motivation. This one's tough. You got most of them. You did not get the fact that it was in a trust. Husband took off, hadn't heard from him, foreclosure, kids not knowing where to go. I'm giving you a 4.25, because I think you got the majority of the stuff. You didn't get the trust thing, and I feel like that's going to be an effective, like, who's responsible. You can't do anything with the deal unless you understand that, right? So that's an important thing to get. I can't pass on that one, but you did get a lot of stuff. I probably should give you a 4. I'm going to give you a 4.25. Overcoming objections. You spent too much time here. I'm giving you a 3.85 in this too, right? Because we have given people 4s and 4.5s because they didn't have objections. I gotta knock you, even though you didn't have objections, because you created your own by spending too much time in trying to make her feel comfortable. You created your own objections in that you didn't make progress that you could have made had you used your time more effectively. Presentation of solutions, you didn't really get there. You presented the idea of solutions. Man, I'm so mixed on this, man. If you had 15, 20 minutes for this call, you're getting somewhere. But you spent so much time over-indexing in one category, it hurt you everywhere else. Guys, what was the presentation? There was no solution that I heard other than the third-party story and saying, I want to make sure that your kids are taken care of. Did you guys hear a solution other than that?
I think he laid the table. He did mention getting some money in her pocket.
That's it.
Like
but he didn't act. It was like a hypothetical what we'd like to do, but not an actual plan to do it. I'm going 3.5 there. Strength of close and follow up, I got to give you a 2. Right? You were starting on a road. You weren't even halfway there. I'm giving it 2. Mike, what you got, man?
So bro, where did you hear him really overcome that first objection about the phone thing?
She came in heavy. He was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And her tone immediately shifted. It didn't come up again. His response was, I'm just calling you for the first time. Here's the reason why I'm calling. And so that was flawless. Had he just said, talk to me about this property, dude would have got a 5 without question. But then he just went on to whatever he talked about. So I thought he crushed that. I heard he just ignored it, was like, I didn't do this. Here's why I'm calling. And her tone immediately changed.
I agree. Because it's not that deep. Like, just because somebody, dude, how many times have we on the nightly dialed, like, quadruple dialed somebody?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. So dude, you crushed that. And that's completely unexpected.
That's the first time that's happened. So kudos to Savannah. So just so we know, Jeremy Davis is in here, who originally held the title for best seller. Jeremy, Savannah came for your lunch, bro. For your lunch.
You text me, dude. You text me with something I had no idea we were talking about. Then I realized the Closers Octagon is happening right now, and I'm like, shit. Did I just get dethroned? Tell me what happened. Give me the clip notes.
No, the clip notes are Savannah has 836 fully functional on-command personalities. They're flawless. It's weird.
That's every woman, by the way. They all.
Yo, you are stupid.
There's way too many people in here in 2024 for you to be making comments like that. So, but you got supporters in the chat. So I don't know, man. Like Savannah, you don't know this, but Jeremy was the previous reigning champ. But you're, I don't know. This is tough.
So what am I, like Jeremy 2.0?
Or maybe the new and improved version. We'll have to see. Jeremy, you got to hang out. You got to listen. And you
I'll
gotta
hang out. I'll hang out. Listen, okay. Hold on. Did you go into prison? The prison role play?
No, we haven't even discussed that. We haven't discussed that. We'll get there because I don't want to reveal too much. But you have done some good ones. You got to hear Savannah though. It's just too authentic, bro. You got to.
All right. I'm here for the show. I'm going on my computer. I'm turning off my phone. I'll see you guys in a second.
All right, perfect. Okay. Shout out to Jeremy Davis, gracing us with his presence. Mike, finish this out, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm going with a 4 for the strength of intro, because of how good that was. Now, I agree with you though, Daniel. It was strung out a little bit, but because of how good he did on overcoming the rejection, like nobody else really has had to handle that so far. So, good job there, bro. Now, as far as rapport goes, if this was just bonding, I'd give this probably a 5.
Yep.
However, rapport isn't just bonding. Rapport is, you know what rapport is? Rapport is bonding, but it's also, think about if you were on a date. Like, the woman that you're on a date with wants to feel the masculinity, wants to feel that you have plans, wants to feel that you know what the heck is going on in life. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So just sitting there on a date and just being like, oh my God, your last boyfriend did that to you? And man, I'm sorry. And
that's how you get friend zone.
100%. And that's exactly what could have happened here. So I got to give it a 3.75 because of that, because it's just very, very important. I think people need to understand the difference. But however, bonding, bro, you did your thing. But I think it was just a little bit overdid. Like there was a situation earlier. I forget who the caller was, but somebody started crying. Savannah started crying almost, and he realized that he had to pull back on the rapport and get back to business. I think, was it Jasper? I forget who it was, but it was. Oh, it was Sergio. Yeah, he had to pull back on bonding a little bit and get back to business, and that actually helped him out. So yeah, that's what my rapport score is, 3.75. Fact finding and uncovering motivation, I'm going to give you a 4. Overcoming objections, because of that first one, bro, you freaking crushed it. I'm giving you a 4.25. Presentation of solutions, bro. This goes back to what I just said about the dating example. It's like they got to know that you were really, really in the driver's seat and that you can solve their problem. Not just like a third party story is good, and it also has to be combined with some confidence in that you can solve her specific problem. You see what I mean? So if the third party story is inserted, that's good. You can insert it as the preface of whatever you were going to do. Hey, we just helped a seller where their husband left literally 5 months ago, same thing as you. We ended up doing this, that, and the other. Hey, here's what I think that we could do for you. I think we should do something along these lines. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I have to go run back to the team, so I have to schedule a follow-up call with you regardless. And then, boom, get into it. You see what I mean? So it just you have to add a little bit more sauce on that. For that, I'm going to give a 3 for the presentations of solutions, and strength of follow-up, 2.5. Because it was like halfway.
Boom. Okay. Savannah got you on the intro. I actually think that that's a super hard situation. I thought the way you handled it, you hit her with like a ooh, okay, and then you got right back into it. I think ooh was a perfect response. I'm gonna give you a 4.25 on that. Actually, I do agree with Daniel that you definitely took your time on it, but I feel like people have taken their time on different categories, so I think it'll reflect in your follow-up score, which it has. But you took a little while getting into it, but you had to diffuse the situation. I actually feel like you did a pretty good job at actually challenging Savannah's acting skills. Like her many personalities, I think, flashed in the sense that like she wanted to stay super angry, like she would raise her tone. I think your tone was generally good enough where she would kind of like fall back down to earth a little bit. I think it was the way you were handling the conversation that made it that difficult. With that being said, I do think you leaned into it a little bit too much. Like when you were doing kind of like the pondering, you're like, I don't know, like that part. I think if you just like did it like one time, it would have been really poignant. I think that 2 or 3 times probably took a little further. So I gave you a 4 on that. But I think you did a good job bouncing between that. Fact finding went straight down the line. I'm going to give you a 4. You missed the thing with the trust, which I do think would have been a factor here. Overcoming objections, I'm gonna also give you a 4.25 on that. I think it's very difficult to deal with like a personality that gets hyped up, like amped up like that. And I think you did a really good job kind of weaving through that situation. Presentation solutions, I'm gonna give you a 3. I'm gonna keep it consistent with everyone else. I think you did a good enough job at least addressing it. You said you wouldn't get money in her pocket, like you were starting to set it up, but realistically, I don't think you got deep enough in the convo to really be able to get there with her and give her a stronger solution than that. Strength code to follow up, I'm gonna give you 2. You just started it, but you weren't really able to get there with it. So solid call, tough one.
Yeah, it's still not a horrible score, right? I mean, the score is not bad. You did a good job. Rod, give us your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on the feedback? What are your thoughts on how you did in the call? Let us know how you're feeling.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I actually I got a brain fart. I'm not. Yeah, it just. Yeah, I didn't expect it. She came off like that, and I was just like, oh wow, okay. I got. You know how when you when you get ready for a fight or when you get ready to do something, you're like, all right, I got it planned out in my mind. And sure enough, that's what I had, and then everything just went out the door. So I feel like I was overscored, to be honest.
No,
I
no,
really.
I appreciate that. And then you look in the chat, right? And Aaron's like, "No, y'all, we're doing him dirty, right?" Guys, there are going to be so many different perspectives on this, and I think a lot of times people confuse what we discussed earlier, sounding good versus being good technically in a conversation. And when you've done the guys in the nightly dial alone, we have listened to thousands of seller calls, thousands. This is not an exaggeration, thousands upon thousands of different people making thousands of seller calls. You learn what works and doesn't work, and I've been doing this a long time before that. And sounding good is not enough, right? And if you have ever been doing this business and you're like, man, I feel like I'm having great conversations, but for whatever reason, I send them the contract and they ghost me, or for whatever reason, they stop following up, right? You can have fantastic conversations and still not get across the finish line because it's the little details that matter. And those are the little details that were lost here. Rob, dude, I've been there. I cannot count how many calls over the years, man, where I get there and I'm like, the words are gone. I got nothing. I'm just going to wing this thing and see what happens. And especially when Savannah comes to you out of left field the way she did, it makes it tough. But dude, all in all, I think you did a great job, all things considered. And I think that if you had balanced out that rapport and peppered some of that energy into some of the other areas, dude, you'd definitely be in top 5 right now. You're still in the top 8 for the time being, but you'd definitely be in top 5.
Yo, listen, I appreciate it, man. What you guys are doing here. I feel like I gained something just by being here. I have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And being in front of people, just it's amazing what you guys do. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Rob, good job, bro.
Yeah, dude, you did a live role play in front of 150 people. I think that anybody who suffers with anxiety or just gets nervous in general, bro, kudos to you for stepping up and showing people what's possible, man. Big respect, seriously.
Word up.
Rob, appreciate you, man. Good stuff. Gonna be excited to see the rest of this goes. We have what? We got 2 people left. We got Dylan. No, we got 3 people left. Dylan, Tim, and then Mike. We still got to find a judge for Mike because
Yeah, I'll judge.
Jeremy, you ready to be a judge? Jeremy, you got to stay on the vibe. Jeremy's done this before, so I'm cool with Jeremy being a judge, but just stay in the vibe, man. Just like we'll go over the crowd. You'll see a couple. We'll let Mike go last, but Jeremy will be a judge, and he will watch his nemesis. We're calling her a nemesis. Savannah's currently your nemesis. We'll see if this changes on display here, and we'll see what happens. That being said, guys, who does not know who Jeremy Davis is? 1 in the chat if you don't know who Jeremy Davis is. 2 in the chat if you do. So a couple people don't. 3 in the chat if you know what Discord is and have been there for sub 2. Jeremy's the reason it exists. Jeremy, bro, this is crazy. You remember me and you having phone calls while you were building the Discord server? That's how long we've been doing this, man.
Yep, it's been a while. It's sub. Just so you guys know, sub 2 is not the same as it was. It is a completely different animal now. It's crazy. It's just sometimes I sit back and I just go, wow.
Yeah.
All of you guys, so many of your faces. I've never talked to any of you guys. Back in the day, we literally knew every single person. It was like going to like first period of high school. You know, you knew everyone there. Right now, this is like walking into this room. There is so much talent here that I don't even know about yet. The people that are doing the role plays, the people that are coaching, the people that are judging, like I know that Daniel does this. How often do you do the closer Octagon is one thing, but what, nightly dials almost every single week, every single night?
Yeah, it used to be 5 days a week. It's 3 days a week now.
Good. Hopefully we can get that down to 1 so you could actually have a personal life.
Maybe not a bad idea. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll probably just take that energy and put it somewhere else, right? So you know how it is, man. It's hard for us to take breaks.
But for those that I know, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I've been grinding out pretty hard lately. But for all the guys that I do not know, I'm excited to know you guys in the future. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it goes back to what we said at the very beginning of this call, guys, right? Like this fantastic community that exists, not only in just in real estate in general, but most specifically sub 2. It comes because of people like these guys, like Jeremy, right? Like people don't realize the amount of effort in hours upon hours upon hours that goes into the back end of this. Everything we're doing tonight, again, none of us are on payroll, right? We do this because we genuinely want to see other people win. And it's this weird thing, right? And I think once you do that, that's why you got 150 people hanging out for hours listening to stuff like this, because it's not just what you're learning. What you're learning is valuable and it will transform your business if you try to decide to take this seriously. But it's also just the vibe, right? You want to be around something that just makes you feel a certain kind of way. And our goal is to make people feel like they're in a place that they can feel safe. You can be on anxiety.
Where are you going?
You can, I don't know. Where are you going? Hold on. Somebody got unmuted. We got this. We got this. And it's just, it's meant to be appreciate you, Samir. Be a safe space where we can all grow and go together. So that being said, Jeremy's going to be up here with us. He's going to be the judge for Mike at the end tonight. We got Dylan out of left field on Angie's team coming up here to hit what may be a home run. I don't know. I can't speak for him. Dylan, introduce yourself. Tell us how you're feeling tonight, bro.
What's up? Yeah, I'm Dylan. Feeling good, man. Little nervous, can't lie, but excited to see how well I can do.
Okay, you've been watching this throughout the thing. You crushed on your tryout. You've been watching the entire thing. Have you had the chance to do any 6-minute role plays?
I actually did one earlier today. Savannah was in it. Jeff heard me go too, so got some good feedback. And then, besides that, just make a ton of live actual seller calls too as actual practice too. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll see how this plays out, right? When you do this, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? But obviously the nature of this competition, especially in this particular round, is to throw you off guard. We'll see if that happens to take place. Savannah, do you have your seller profile and all of the things ready? Okay, so Jeremy, just so you know, she has a random spinner wheel for seller situation and motivation, and another random spinner wheel for personality type. She spins them both, and that's who she shows
Jeremy,
up as.
did you have that when you were a seller? No? I'm just kidding.
Shots
Jeremy,
fired.
Jeremy might be judging me when it's my turn, so I should just keep my mouth shut.
He very well may be
Listen, I'm already judging you, okay? So
also, there is a decent chance that he may be your seller, Savannah. So
oh snap.
That being said, guys, you know what it is. He's got 6 minutes. Savannah's ready. He's ready. Once he says ring, ring, the timer starts when she says hello.
I'm just missing Mike. I know the chat's moving fast. Did you guys all see the?
I did not see it. But go ahead and hold on. I'll go. I see it. I see it here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm reading it so I can be ready. That's weird. Okay. Now, did I say that for emphasis? Did I say that to throw Dylan off? That's the real question. Okay, we got the motivation here. Dylan, you know what it is.
What?
Savannah, are you ready, or do you have to parent?
I need 2 seconds. Give me un momento.
Ring, ring.
He said no 2 seconds for you. Mike, did you get the motivation? Samir, did you get the motivation?
Mm-hmm. Weird.
do I get to know the motivation? You want to DM me?
Oh yeah, 100%. Let me send it to you.
Oh, did I send it to the wrong?
No. I'm gonna send it to Jeremy just so he has it for context. Chats.
Oh, I see. Sorry, Savannah, you did send me. We're good.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Oh, Jeremy thought that was a real deal too, right?
All right, Savannah, are you good to go?
I'm good, yeah.
All right, Dylan, whenever you're ready, do you think, bro?
All right, let me put my timer on. All right, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Savannah. My name's Dylan. I am just calling about your property on 123 Main Street. I believe you had a conversation with my assistant. It sounds like you're looking to sell that property. Is that right?
Yeah, I am looking to sell that one.
Okay, got it. Can you tell me, I guess, what you're looking to get out of it? Why are you looking to sell? From the pictures I see online, it looks like a beautiful home. Can you tell me what you're needing to get out of it?
I need to sell the home to just pay for some bills I have.
Pay for some bills?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So need to sell the home to pay for some bills. Have you looked at just listing it with a realtor?
I need the money pretty quickly, so I was hoping to find someone that could purchase it.
Okay, need to sell quickly. What does that look like in the next 30 days, 90 days?
I mean, as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, my company, we help, the name of my company is Real Estate Problem Solvers. So we help homeowners just like you solve their problems all day long. If you could tell me a little bit more about, why do you need to sell so quickly? Maybe there's a different angle that we could approach, maybe where you don't need to sell the home.
I mean, like I said, I have some bills that I need to take care of, and they're pretty big.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we talking medical bills? Is there a mortgage on the property? Have you been missing payments? What does that look like?
I do have a mortgage on the property. I haven't fallen behind with it yet. I am out of work though.
Gotcha. Out of work, still making payments. Understand. Okay. Have you looked at what you think your home's worth? Do you know what you would want to sell it for or need to sell it for?
Um, I mean, I did a little bit of research online, and I see like other homes that are similar within like, a few couple blocks. They're selling around 380. So, I mean, that's a good starting point. Is that kind of what you would be able to give me?
Yeah, to be honest, I have no idea what my offer would look like. I'd have to get back with my team. We would send you an offer and see if that makes the most sense. Now, for me, I need to know a little bit more about not only the property, but to be honest, I need to know a little bit more about your situation. For us, we do move quickly, but if we have all the right pieces in place, then we can close something as fast as 2 weeks, possibly. Is it medical bills you're needing to pay off? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I do have some medical bills, and I need to hire an attorney, but the retainer's pretty high. It's 10,000 just for the retainer. So, um,
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we have a lot of resources at hand. I have some connections to really good attorneys. Okay. So you need an attorney, you have some medical bills. Well, why don't we do this? I'll present it to my team and see what makes the most sense for us to come back with an offer. If we were able to get something in front of you that makes sense, put some money in your pocket, maybe enough to pay off your medical bills and an attorney, would you be willing to sign a contract and get everything wrapped up within the end of the week?
I mean, yeah, if it makes sense, I just want to feel like I'm making the right decision here.
Yeah,
So, I just want to look at all the options and stuff, and then,
absolutely. Now, is there anyone else you own the property with? A spouse, parents, anything like that that would also be a decision maker on this?
no, it's just me. It's just me.
It's just you. Okay. So you need to sell quickly, pay off some debt. Um, and now we do buy homes in different ways. We do buy homes in cash. If we were to structure this differently, I guess, what would be a minimum amount in your pocket you would need to walk away?
I mean, my medical bills are pretty extensive. I know I need at least 10,000 for the attorney. I'd probably say maybe like 50 to 60,000. I might
50.
need I might need another surgery, but um, I think if I was able to get about 50 or 60 out of it, that would be really helpful.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, if we were to go to the closing table, would you be physically able to go to a closing table, or would we need to send a notary out to you?
Yeah, but not at the property, right?
Yeah. Can you tell me about what's going on with the property? Who's living in it?
Nobody's there.
It's vacant right now. Does it need any work, or is it in good condition generally?
No, it's a really nice house. I've upkept it. I've even made it to my style, just done some updating here and there, but
Great. Well, why don't I do this, Savannah? I'll get back with my team and I'll be able to put something in front of you. Why don't I give you a call tomorrow? Is 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. better for you?
yeah, if you could call me at 11, that would be okay.
Okay, sounds good, Savannah. Thank you so much. I could
Okay.
not get the motivation. I don't know.
Dylan, bro, I was jumping through my skin on this call, man. So much. Okay, Savannah just shared this in here. Mike, you got to go first on this one, man. I don't want to give my feedback because I want Mike to give his feedback, but oh my God, this was like, go ahead, Mike, do your thing, bro.
Man. Bro, too many questions will hurt you. Okay, so whenever you're trying to get somebody to open up and really give you some information, actually, before I say that, I learned something probably about 2 years ago. This is when I, started doing stuff on social media and stuff like that. I learned from one of my coaches that you can never give somebody more than one call to action, right? So what he taught me is, hey, don't put in your bio, the link in bio, which is the link tree thing that has like 10 different things on it. He's like, don't even put that because that's just gonna confuse people. They don't know which one to pick, and then they don't pick anything. You see what I mean? So what happened here is you were asking some decent questions, right? But as you asked the open-ended question, you also asked them with like 3 different questions as well, which ultimately screwed you up and you didn't get the information. The one of the biggest ones was at the end. I was like, oh my God, finally he's about to get some information. You said, can you tell me what's going on with the property? And if you just stopped right there, I had a feeling that she was going to tell you, oh, well, I don't want to go there because the dog bit me, right? I literally thought at the end that you were going to get the motivation, but you screwed yourself when you said, who was living in it?
Yep.
Who's living in it, and then boom, you didn't even get a chance to get the information. So that's really what killed it, bro. That's what killed the whole entire deal for you, for you not getting the motivation.
Yeah.
So with that being said, strength intro, I got you with a 2.5. These are going to be tough, bro, and I'm sorry. Rapport building, along with you not being able to get the facts and stuff, which I think is part of the rapport building. You gotta, in order for you to solve some sort of problem and make somebody feel like you are invested into the call, you got to be able to connect with them and get the information from them. And dude, it was just tough. I got to give it 2.5 for that as well. Fact finding and uncover motivation, same exact thing. Overcoming objections, bro, I got to give the same exact thing. Same exact thing for solutions. And then here's the deal. You actually got through the whole entire call and you scheduled a follow-up. So I'm going to be generous here for the sake of it, but I'm going to give it 3.5. Dylan, I know that you are a closer, bro. I know you have this in you. I felt as if maybe your nervousness made you be like, all right, well, tell me what's going on with the property. Are you somebody living it? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And that just, dude, it literally killed the whole entire thing. So that it's interesting. One thing can hurt all your scores, can hurt the whole entire call. It's so important. I was listening to one of my calls. Somebody brings a lead to me on my team, and he's like, hey, the seller's going through foreclosure, but I can't reach them. I don't know what to do. I'm like, all right, well, let's look at the history in this thing. Look through the history. One of my lead managers screwed up the whole entire deal completely. The seller said to my lead manager back in July, hey, I would love to stay in the property. It was a minute-long call. She said, I would love to stay in the property. That's just what I'm trying to do right now, so I'm not trying to sell. And I'm like, yo, you didn't get that she wanted to stay in the property? You didn't get that, like, there was probably a foreclosure or something going on? Dude, we look at like maybe a call 2 months after that. One of my sales reps calls her and says, hey, I'm under contract with another buyer. And I'm like, bro, what the heck? And now he's trying to get in touch with her because he sees the property online for auction and nobody's doing anything and it's not sold. So that's why it's so important, bro. Anyways, follow-up is 3.5.
So I'm going to score a little bit differently. For context, Jeremy, since you're going to be scoring Mike, here's my response on a lot of this stuff.
Just one last thing. Mike, what was the follow-up score? My fault, bro. I didn't hear it.
3.5.
So I'm not scoring based on what I think someone should do. I'm scoring it based on how well they delivered what they were attempting to do. Like, for example, if somebody uses an intro that I don't use, but they deliver that intro flawlessly, I may not love the intro, but if it was delivered well and it didn't have a negative impact on the call, I'm going to score you on the merit of how you delivered what you did, not on my preference to that, right? When it comes to the motivations, if there's 5 things you should have hit on the motivation and you hit 1, well, then obviously you're not hitting 5. You hit all 5, you're hitting a 5. And if there's something that you like, for example, Jeff Smith didn't hit all 5. He got like 4 out of 5, right? But the 5th one wasn't really relevant to the deal, so I gave him a 5, right? So that's kind of the context of where I'm going. I'm trying to find the balance. Rapport is like not just, how well you built the bond, but how well did what you were doing land? How well did what you were doing land? How did it take the conversation? So I don't disagree with a lot of what Mike said, but my scores are going to be a little different. There's 2 points that I'm going to make here for Dylan's call. Point number 1, I've said this a bunch of different times. When people come into this competition, they have a bunch of different perspectives. And the example that you guys have heard me use is that, let's say somebody's going out here and they're crushing 3 out of 10 deals. There's 10 deals on the table. They get consistently 3 out of 10. They get consistently 5 out of 10. They get consistently 7 out of 10. For a person that's doing that in their real life, that might be enough for them. And I'm not going to be able to sway them on that perspective. My question is, if you could get 10, would you like to get 10? And are you willing to do the changes that would need to be made in order for you to get from 7 to 10? And that's really the conversation, the perspective that we have here. Because Dylan is probably crushing 7 out of 10. Could he get 3? Maybe. Or could he get 3 more? Yes, I think he could. Because Dylan's good enough for that. The point number 2 here is that Dylan did exactly what we've discussed. He put more emphasis on the deal than he did on the person. He put more emphasis on his process than he did on the person. And the focus on those things is what lost everything here. I'm giving a 4.85 for that intro. Because that intro was just about as perfect as I've heard an intro, in my opinion. It was under 10 seconds. He got straight to the point. He uncovered everything. The one thing that didn't get him a 5 is her tone was super down. And he did not fluctuate one time. He could not care less. Her mood was not concerned. And that was relevant, or that was reflected in the way his tone was. Otherwise, that would have been a 5.
Daniel, can I change my intro? Because you're 100% right. He crushed the intro, and I'm going to be honest, the rest of the call.
The scoring's still up, man. You can change whatever you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I want to change my intro to a 4 because Daniel's completely right. The only thing missing from that intro was realizing that she was super sad.
Yeah.
Which would have ultimately led you to get a better score and everything else. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go through this fairly quickly. I wanted to give the background so that way Jeremy could have some context because he hasn't judged in this competition, but he's going to be judging Mike here in a little bit. That being said, okay, rapport building, I'm going to split the difference here. I'm going to go a little higher in the rapport building. I think your empathy towards her was non-existent. It was actually really, really abysmal. Like, it was sad for me that you put 0. You could not give any more Fs about this woman who was clearly sounding like she was in a bad place. You're like, great, well, we care home buyers. No, you don't. You don't care. Stop it, right? Like, nobody believes you, right? But I think you said we solve problems. And so I think, dude, acting like you cared would have helped a long way. But the efficiency with which you handled the conversation, I think did gain some credibility, and I do think that counts as rapport to a degree. So I'm going 3.4 on that department. 3.35. I can't go 3.4. It was just really bad. The lack of empathy was really bad. But I think your professionalism bridged a little bit of a gap there. Fact finding, uncovering motivation. I got to go 2.5. Like, you missed a lot of the stuff. You got that she wasn't in the house, right? You uncovered that part. You got that she needed money, but you just missed a lot of the meat and potatoes because you didn't really dig where you needed to dig. I'm giving you a 3 when it comes to overcoming objections. You didn't really have a lot of objections because you didn't get to the point, right? You were focused more on your process than you were on her, and so you missed a lot. I do think you would have overcome those had any come. I don't think there's many objections that Dylan can't overcome. You just didn't put yourself in a position to have to do that here. So I'm giving you a 3 there. Presentation of solutions. You scheduled the follow-up. I think that with what you had, you did the best. I think the best situation that you could have offered her as a solution is a follow-up. And I think that I've said many times in these calls, sometimes the best solution is a follow-up. I'm giving you a 3.25 for that because you did get the follow-up scheduled. You have a scheduled follow-up with her with a time. So for me, there's no reason for you to not have a 5 there because you got a timed appointment with her. So that's a full 5 in my opinion. What drives me crazy is you have the skill set for 5s across the board. But you got one that, this is where that random wheel really gets people. You got one that needed empathy and you just left it off the table here. Go ahead, Samir.
Am I muted? No. Am I?
You're good.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hold on one second.
Shout out to Bathrobe being out here with, full illness.
I appreciate it.
After Samir, I want to give a little bit of a judging. I don't want to give score.
Sure, let's hear your feedback, bro.
Hell yeah.
Dylan, do you have in your house right now, do you have a girlfriend, a wife, a sister, a daughter? Do you have someone in your house that is of the female gender?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend.
Okay. Does she have a hand mirror that she looks at herself in and does her makeup and stuff like that? Like a portable mirror?
I'm sure she does. I couldn't tell you.
I need you to take that. I need you to borrow it from her and say that for the next month, I need to keep it right next to my computer. Because everything that everyone is going into right now is all coming down to your lack of mirroring. Okay? When she says, I've got big bills, what do you say? Big bills? What does that mean? Medical bills. Medical bills? What does that mean? Not to the house? Not to the house. What does that mean? There was so many opportunities that you literally could have echoed and mirrored exact words that she just said, and she would have spewed out to you, her emotional feelings behind them. When she says, not at the house, right? Well, when you say not at the house, what does that mean? Oh, it's vacant? Oh, the dog attacked you? Oh my God, no wonder you don't want to go back there. Yep. How bad are the medical bills? Oh my God, you have to pay for an attorney? Oh my God.
Dude, you would have got everything.
So I'm serious. Get a mirror, because I agree with everything Daniel said. Your execution of this call, my acquisition team, this is the way that I want them to sound on calls. You were a soldier. You were literally hitting the points of the call. You were on the script the way you should have been. You were hitting those points. You didn't miss a beat on the expectations and what this all looks like, but you literally missed her entire vibe. And you missed that. And what Daniel said, that your rapport was abysmal. You caring about her was abysmal. I agree with that. If you had just sat there for a second and mirrored what she said, you would have got 5s across the board. That's it.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. And the worst part is she was trying to give it to you. There was like 4 times where she was like giving you alley-oops, and I'm like, bro, please take that. Please take that, bro. Now, tell me more about the condition of the property. And it's just like, or whatever you said.
Right, when she's like, I have to hire an attorney.
Like, why?
Your response be like, you have to hire an attorney? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all of those. So
right,
I
Samir,
mean,
hit your numbers, bro. We've hit Dylan's empathy enough, I think.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
So Dylan, your empathy could have been a tad bit better. All right, bro. I'm gonna run through my scores, and then I won't go too deep into the feedback because I think everyone hit on a lot of really good things. The one thing I did want to address, I kind of feared painting this conversation just because it is a little bit about the seller. I don't think it was too different than the type of seller or call I had. I think it was tough because it wasn't one of those where she was just spilling over, giving you information. The one thing I think you had that really could have changed that all for you, to the point everyone was making, was she at least gave you the tone. Like the tone was such a thing you could have just hit on. Like you could have just stopped and just addressed the fact that she was so down, so low. Even besides all the facts, I mean, the facts you could have definitely dug into also. I think it seemed tough because you were asking a bunch of questions. I feel like at least that's what I was getting from it, that you were asking a lot of questions because it was tough to get an idea of where to go. But I think if you just leaned into the tone, it would have given you direction. Then I think you would have been fine. I don't think you probably asked this many questions normally. Again, I'm maybe I'm incorrectly relating it to mine, but I had a similar issue. I was asking a lot of questions because I couldn't get a vibe for what her feeling was. I think for her though, at least she gave you the tone a little bit, and you could have leaned into it. But yeah, man, I mean, other than that, what everyone else was saying, if you just, mirrored, if you leaned into it a little bit, I think it would have probably thrown you off your process a little bit, but you would have actually probably gone a little bit further in the conversation. But overall, man, I'm sure I've heard you kill calls before. So, I just think it was, you missed on that one point. It really got you on this call.
Yeah, let me say this, guys. I've, to the point we mentioned beforehand, we've done this a lot. We've listened to a lot of people. Dylan is without question top 5, top 10 people that we've ever listened to in this call, right? He's just extremely skilled. He does this business in real life. He's very good at what he does. No question, right? But this is why I emphasize to people the need to do a couple of things. One, if you're going to compete in something like this, do it and take it seriously, right? Because those 6-minute role plays with varied situations will bite you in the backside if you're not prepared for it. And then number 2, guys, I've said this all the time. I say it in my calls. I say it here in the Nightly Dial. Guys, like, what's the phrase? Nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. Care about the person more than you care about the deal. I promise you can close 7 out of 10 deals and not care out of a person. But what happens if you start caring as well, or make it sound like you do? And there is no question in my mind that Dylan does care as a person, right? My little interaction with him, I think Dylan's a fantastic dude. What frustrates me about this is in my head, I had already planned for Dylan being in Arizona participating in this competition. And I'm very frustrated that he's not. But this is the way it goes down sometimes. So that being said, Dylan, how you feeling, man? Give us your feedback on all the stuff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback. I did feel like after I did my intro, I heard her tone down, and I thought I went and matched her tone, at least maybe for that next sentence, and then I forgot about it. And then back to the mirroring, I do remember, like, she said something, and I mirrored her exactly. I said, medical bills? And then she said it right back to me, medical bills.
Yeah, he did say that.
I was like, I don't know. My guess was like, she's sick, she's terminally ill or something like that. So that's why I asked that question, like, can you even make it to a closing table? Yeah, I don't know. I was asking the wrong questions, I think. And then when I asked about the property, my hope is that leads to something about the story. I didn't want to ask straight up, like, what do you have, cancer or something? Like, I didn't know what to ask. So.
You're
right.
For me, Dylan, that would have been the moment that I would have dropped my tone, and I would have said, medical bills, what's going on? Or when she added the attorney fees as well, and I'm hearing her voice, you know what she sounds like to me? A beaten wife. Mm-hmm. Right? And to where she has to hire an attorney, she has to deal with these medical bills super fast. So and she's super, super passive on the call. Like, again, it's just dropping the tone, mirroring that. Yeah, not to beat a dead horse, but I mean, you get it, dude. You're a professional, like everyone has said. But those are the moments that were missed. That's all it was.
Yeah, Dylan,
Yeah,
guys,
I
like
get
this.
it.
This is a skill set, right? Like developing the comfort level to talk about. Some people don't feel comfortable prying into people's personal information, and that's a very understandable skill set, right? So, tactfully and tactically learning how to do that is just a skill set. It's a muscle, just like any other skill set in using sales. And if you could learn something like that, Dylan, bro, that'll be a superpower for you, dog. Because the way you got the rest of your stuff dialed in, if you could take some moments and just learn how to dial that part in, and that's less of a what you say thing. That's more of a you got to look inside yourself and get past the discomfort and then do the next thing, which is a little bit more detailed than what we can discuss here. But dude, you dial that in, you're disgusting. Like you're top in the industry. Like it really is what it is. And to Mike's point, there's a lot of people in this industry who do great things, and I think some of the best of them are in this community. And you're definitely on that list, bro. So good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more great stuff from you.
Jeremy makes a good point too. Like the mirroring is important, but sometimes just the word isn't enough. So you notice, Jeremy, you said medical bills. Well, tell me, what's that mean? You know what I mean? Sometimes you will say medical bills and they'll just be like, yeah. And you got to follow up. You gotta like dig, like Danny was saying. And once you dig, that's when everything will be revealed. But bro, I what I really, really think, even Angie said it in here, she was like, he was nervous. And I agree. You even said it in the beginning. And I think that's ultimately what led to you asking a bunch of different questions in one question and other things. But bro, you're a badass closer.
Yeah, people do not know what this is like until you do it, right? Dylan, you do this for real. It's something different when you're in the sea, right?
For sure. Yeah. Even like the practice day, I had to guess that her boyfriend moved his girlfriend in, and that felt like
you
an
got
easier
real close
call.
with that. You got the extension. You figured most of that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was one of my favorite calls where I got to bring Samir on.
All right, guys, we got 2 people left. Let's knock through them. We got Mr. Tim Doyle VT sitting here patiently, quietly, ready for his turn, and then we're gonna wrap it up with the one and only Mike G. Tim, how you feeling, man? Savannah, what you got?
Can you guys hear any of the background noise? Because my kid is sitting right here. Are these like super noise canceling? It's okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Stop beating your children. As a thought. I mean, or don't. It's up to you. Who am I to tell you? Tim, how you feeling, man?
Feeling great. Excited to get this over with.
That's the one way to
Meaning I'm excited for the feedback. I'm excited for the feedback, especially yours, Jeremy. So thanks for coming in.
Love it. All right, Tim, you've been watching this whole thing. You know exactly what's going to be happening here. Do you have any questions before we go into this?
When's your birthday?
Whose?
Yours.
Mine, August 1st.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not a Leo.
Are you a Leo?
That's what happens on August 1st.
You are a
usually,
Leo,
to my
right?
understanding. Yeah, I think so. Why?
Is this what Tim's doing? Tim's trying to figure out if you're a Leo and all that type of stuff to try to see.
I don't know.
how
I
you
don't
would
know
judge.
if I should ask more questions or just.
He's
not
trying to
ask
see how you
questions.
would judge based off of your.
That's funny.
No,
I like
honestly,
that.
Since I've been like 9 years old, whenever anybody asks, does anybody have any other questions? That's the first and only thing that comes into my mind.
Is what's your birthday?
Yeah.
I love
have
it.
no idea why, but it's literally been 20 plus years.
All right, guys.
I
So
like that,
now,
though.
now that everybody knows, if I do not get something from y'all on my birthday, I'm gonna feel personally offended. Just saying.
Did everybody get the motivation? The
I'm
chat is
checking it
going
right
crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm struggling a lot
interesting.
because the color personality and the issue.
Sorry.
I'm trying to how can
You're
I?
trying to make it make sense. All right, and you do what you got to do over there. If you got to re-roll or if you can make it work,
No,
we
we're
will trust you.
we're good. Let's run it.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Okay, just try to fix what you messed up with me, or just switch the whole situation so that way it makes sense, right?
Okay. Yeah. I am a woman.
We can go in on this one.
I don't think we're gonna get there. No one's done that. I don't think there's a framework for that. What did
It's
you do?
okay. Mike, did you see my kid go by and then she knocked over my pretty cotton candy lights? But it's all good.
Oh, okay. You're fine. Okay, we're good to go. You got it, Savannah?
I'm good. Let's go.
Okay, Tim, are you ready? You know my birthday, which means you have everything you need to succeed during this call. Okay.
Good to go.
All right. Whenever you say ring ring, timer starts once she says hello, and you got 6 minutes to make magic happen.
Yes, sir. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Savannah, this is Tim calling from Morby Home Solutions. You were chatting with my buddy Brian the other night, and he wanted me to get in touch with you to see if we'd be able to help you out with selling your property over there at 369 Ski Terrace.
Okay.
All right, awesome. I just have a couple questions for you to help get on the same page, but I did just want to give you a heads up real quick. I'm not sure if you can hear in the background, but I'm actually at the airport about to hop on a flight to meet Jamie Dimon and Ken Griffin. So just please forgive my brevity. But Brian said this was really, really important that we get in touch ASAP, which is why I'm calling you from the airport. But I just wanted to ask first, is everything all right over there? You doing okay? Sounded pretty serious.
I mean, yeah, the situation's really serious. I do
Yeah.
need to sell this really quickly. I don't want to get into it too much, but I have a lot going on, and I just need to really figure this out before. I don't know what, man. I don't want me and my family living in a shoebox or something, you know.
Shoebox, okay.
I'm just freaking out about what's the next step and what I can do. And man, oh man, this is a big
Well,
mess. I don't know what I got myself into.
I totally understand. When you say you don't know what you got yourself into, just I know you I'm not trying to, pry too much, but I do have to get some details just so we can know really what we're talking about here. But like, can you just catch me up to speed about what's going on? Like, why are you looking to sell?
Uh, Man, I don't want to sell. Like, I wish I didn't have to. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's just things have gotten a little bit out of hand, and I'm missing some payments now, and I can't catch up, and it's put my family in a really, really bad situation.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. How long has
Yeah.
that been going on?
Uh, it's been going on for a while, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So I assume you're talking about a traditional mortgage right now, right? You're just missing a couple payments, behind a little bit.
Yeah, it's really bad, man. I don't even know if you can help me.
Okay. How long have you been in the property?
I mean, my family, we've lived here for 6 years. I think it's been 6 years now.
Okay, awesome. So in a perfect world, like what are you trying to accomplish? If we can't get you to stay in the property, obviously that's first and foremost. But if we can't do that, do you have something lined up for afterwards? Do you have somewhere else you might be able to go?
I don't have that part figured out, but I'll have to see what I can do.
Yeah, okay. Well, just so you know, I have an entire team. This is what we do day in and day out. We know the process very well from both a legal and a real estate perspective. So I just want you to know, I know this is really difficult, but you don't necessarily have to do this alone. We've got your back should you need some help. Um,
Okay, I guess I don't know. I really don't know if you can help me with this. It's pretty bad.
how bad is pretty bad?
I'm in a really deep hole. I'm in a really, 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 really deep hole. I honestly I don't even know if there's anything you can do to help. Like, what is it exactly that you do?
We do any number of things, but I assume you're talking about foreclosure. We help people with foreclosure. It depends on where you are in the process, whether or not we're going to be able to keep the property. Um, how deep of a hole are we talking about here?
I have some big debts. Yes, one of them's the mortgage, and some, equity we pulled out of the property, and it was like a line of
Do you have a
credit.
copy of the, do you have a copy of the statement? If we were to take a look at that?
Yeah, I can get all of that over to you, but oh gosh, man. Yeah, it's just hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. So there's, like I said, there's a number of situations, whether we catch up your payments or whether we're not able to save the house. I would like to be able to buy the house, but again, it really depends. I need to know like what kind of a hole we're talking about. So if you're able to get a copy of that mortgage statement, I'm going to shoot you a text as soon as we wrap up this phone call. If you could just send that over to me, that way we can kind of figure things out and I can send it over to my team to do an analysis. And then you and I can touch base moving forward just to see what our options really are.
Okay.
Are you around? Are you around tomorrow at the same time if we were to catch up and kind of review things just to see what we can really work out here?
Yeah, but I need you to send me a text first before you call, okay?
Yep, I will send you a text.
Yeah, because I just need to
I'll
make
send
sure
you a text with my
I'm
name.
somewhere alone.
You're somewhere alone. Okay. Are you somewhere safe?
Yeah, I'm safe. I want to make sure nobody hears about this because this could blow a lot of things up for me.
When you say it could blow a lot of things up, like what happened that kind of led you to being where you are right now? Is there some trouble outside of, the property and the situation?
I just fell back into some old habits, and I'm my husband can't know about this.
Okay. Are we talking about substance habits?
No, it's more of a gambling problem.
Okay. Well, as long as you're somewhere safe, I don't know what the financial situation is like otherwise, but we've got some resources. I can help point you in the right direction to help out with a couple of things, but we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. I just wanted to know real quick, is there anybody else that's on loan or title that would need to have a say in what's going on next? So when we touch base
My
tomorrow,
husband,
they can
yeah, my husband's
okay.
on the title.
So I know you don't want him to know what's going on, but can he be there with us in the conversation tomorrow?
No, he cannot know. He cannot know about this. Like,
We can
if
leave
he
out the
knew, like, I
details for
went through
sure.
all of our life savings and haven't been making this would ruin up this. I'm
We
in
don't
a
have to
really,
get
really,
into
really, really
details.
bad spot.
And that is time, ladies and gentlemen. Another one in the books. Very, very, very interesting situation. Another one where I wanted to jump through the screen about 18 different times. Let's pull up the scoring sheet and let's get this thing going. I'll run it first tonight. Jeremy, as we're pulling this thing up, what are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling? I know you're not judging it until Mike's round.
Savannah, listen, I'm going to judge Savannah right now. You didn't make a
I'm so sorry.
You didn't make a single quip. You didn't like, hey, I bet you can't fix my problems. I'll bet you, come on, you're a gambling addict and you can't even do that. No. It was.
I was supposed to be super yellow, and so I was trying to just like talk a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was, I would
I'm
say
trying
that.
to act like a woman and not like a man, but it was a little bit of a struggle.
No, overall, without giving a score, I think you did a really good job. I really liked, well, I liked and I didn't like it. You came in really strong with trying to prove your credibility. When you're like, I'm at the airport and I'm meeting really, really rich, famous people, that could have blown up really badly because you didn't have rapport with her yet. You didn't know what she was all about. So she could have literally been like, I don't care, screw off. So that could have actually been very damaging to the rapport. So I probably wouldn't have. Again, I'm not giving points on this one, but I feel your intro, while it was interesting and it might work really well for if you're talking to other investors or landlords or people that have multifamily, I feel in this circumstance it probably would have backfired a little bit and not allowed you to move into the rapport building because there was no segue there. You're like, okay, well, I'm at the airport and I'm meeting rich, famous people here soon. Now what? So you didn't really allow yourself to be a human with her. You just came in going, I'm an authority and I'm an authority and I'm an authority. So you have to accept it the way it is. Other than that, you handled it pretty well. The clues she threw out to you, I think you picked up on those pretty well. Yeah, other than that, like I said, I'm not going to go based score wise, but just really good job. And there you go.
All right, here's my feedback on this. Shout out for Bill throwing that out there for me. Okay, so strength of intro. I'm going, and I don't know why this has become a go-to number for me because it's just like when it's not. I'm going 3.85 on the intro for everything that Jeremy said. Like it was just, I get the strategy of just going in there and trying to flex a little bit or sound like you're really busy. It took you a little too long to deliver it, and it was like, why are you telling me this? Right? It's just kind of weird information. And so, but I do appreciate that you came in high energy. You sounded like you knew what you were talking about. The context of I'm busy, but I want to help, I think is good. I have plenty of times said, hey, it's late. If I'm calling on the weekend or I'm calling late in the evening, like, hey, my last call of the night, I know it's super late, but here's the reason I'm following up. I wanted to get this thing taken care of before I left the office tonight, right? I think those things are good. I think you were that I get the direction. 3.85 for that. Rapport building. I don't know what to say here, dude. I'm giving the same number. It's 3.85, right? Like it's not 3.5 because you were trying, but it's not 4 and above, right? Because I just felt like there was some gaps, which goes to the fact finding and uncovering motivation. You got the motivation, but I don't want to give you the score for the motivation because she gave it to you. She had to give it to you. You were every time here. It was very not the same, but it was similar to Dylan, where it's like, okay, cool, he's on a road. And then you completely went left. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? So you'd be like, oh, tell me more about the situation. What has you needing to do this? Okay, well, I had this situation where she sounded like, I understand why you went substance abuse, which is a weird assumption to make, by the way. But she sounded like she was fiending. She sounded like a fiend. She sounded like she was really under pressure. After enough of that, there has to be a point where you say, Savannah, I got to ask you, you sound like you got a lot going on. What's really happening here? Do you mind just sharing that with me? Like, just stop the conversation. Forget the call flow. What's really happening, right? And then let her open up. But every time you'd ask what looked like an open-ended question, you would follow it up with, cool, can I get a mortgage statement? Like, why are you asking for a mortgage statement? Like, where is that coming from, right? Jeremy, what you got, man?
Yeah, no, I totally forgot to mention that. That's something I want to bring up. This call should have been disqualified the minute she said that her husband cannot be involved, because that's the 50% decision maker on this deal, that you can waste all the time you want. You do not have a contract being signed until that husband is brought into this conversation. So right when she said that, just as Daniel said, I would have stopped it right there. I would have said, whoa, hold on a second. You're talking about selling a property right now that you own 50-50 with your husband, but your husband can't know about this? I don't know how I can help you. I'm here to buy the property if you're both able to come to a conclusion and come to a decision. But at this moment right now, I can help facilitate a call. If you'd like me to be on that call, I can kind of be a mediator to bring this up to him, and I can present the opportunity and the options to help you both. But if you're saying that he can't be involved in this decision at all, I can't go further with this legally, because I can't have you sign a contract without him doing it too.
And you know what happens the second you do that, Tim? She starts breaking down because she's between a rock and a hard place and starts going to Jeremy for advice. And that's when the rapport points go crazy. That's when the problem solving goes crazy. That's where the presentation of the solution starts going crazy, because he approached it by understanding the situation and getting the real facts, right? And was willing to draw a line in the sand. And Jeremy could have done that in 45 seconds. But you kept jumping in when she started sharing and started asking for real estate-based information, very similar to what Dylan did, if that makes sense. I don't know what to do here. I'm torn because you got the information, but it was handed to you. I'm sorry. You're going to hate me, but it's a 3.85. Like, I don't know what else to do here. And another judge may disagree with me and score you like you didn't earn the number, even though you got it. It wasn't something you did. Jasper got it unintentionally, but it was a skill that he deployed. She kind of just offered it to you, right? Overcoming objections. I'm going to give you a 4 for this, because you were dealing with a tough type of person and you pushed through a lot of stuff. You didn't get a lot of objections. You didn't get to the objection about being able to cover the thing, but I feel like you were on the right path. I don't grade people on just what they overcome. You didn't create a bunch of them either. So I'm going to go forward with that. Presentation of solutions, you didn't get there in the presentation of solutions. We weren't there. I'm going 2.5, and I'm going 0 on the follow-up, right? You just weren't even at that point in the conversation. Wait, hold on. Did he even, Mike, Samir, did he even mention? Did he mention did you schedule a follow-up? Did I miss it? Because you were talking about the deal.
Same time tomorrow. I asked if her husband could be there. She said, no.
You started doing that. Okay, you're right. You did. You didn't actually get to the point where it was like, I don't even think she responded. Give him a 2. Give him a 2 for that. This is a tough one. It's just a tough one.
Agreed. Tim, if it wasn't for your tag right here that says Vermont, I would have known that you were from New England. Just from this call, just from your driver personality in the call. And your driver personality led you to talk about, how, like, what it is that you could do, what it is that you are doing. Granted, the thing with the airplane that you were, the airport thing. You were talking about how we have the real estate knowledge and experience to help your situation out. Sellers will like see right through that BS. You see what I'm saying? instead of telling them we have the real estate experience, we've been doing this for 10 years and stuff like that, show them. You see what I mean? And that would have helped you out. So I'm grading very similar to Daniel here. I'm going to give it 3.5 on the intro. Rapport building, bro, this would have been literally over a 4 if it wasn't so much about him and his company. If it wasn't so much about like you and everything that you had going on and you could do, then it definitely would have been over a 4. But I'm giving a 3.75 for that. Fact finding and uncovering motivation. Oh man, this is tough, bro. This is tough, DQ. I'm feeling the same exact way because Savannah did kind of give it to you, but the reason why you were able to get the motivation, in my opinion, is because you were pretty efficient on the call. I think you almost got the call done before the 6 minutes, correct?
No, he ran out of time. The timer went off before he could finalize the follow-up.
Well, you got through like your fact-finding questions and stuff like that. I think they obviously could have been a little bit better, but you got through that stuff fairly quick. So just for efficiency, I'm going to give you a 3.75 on that one too.
Okay.
Overcoming objections, I'll give you a 3.75 on that one as well. Presentations of solutions. Again, here it's like, instead of telling them all about us, right? Let's explain how their situation can be solved, if that makes sense. I'm giving a 3 on that one. Strength to follow up and close, you like halfway got it. You were there, however, you weren't able to figure the father thing, the husband thing out. I'm gonna give you a 2.5 on that.
Okay.
All right, Samir, what you got, bro?
Intro. I'm gonna parrot the feeling on the intro. You came in real strong. Part of me, because you made the comment about who you were with, right? Like hedge fund billionaires. I think it was, I don't know, am I wrong? It was coming across as a joke, maybe. I don't know if you were like attempting to be serious. That was my guess. But it didn't really connect. That is the risk you're gonna take, because even, well, to what Jeremy said, if this is an investor, he's gonna think it's hilarious that you mentioned a guy worth $100 billion. But like, I don't think there was enough info coming into this to deploy that. But for what it's worth, you did come in.
I have a question. Who are the dudes that you talked about?
Jamie Dimon, CEO of the 2 wealthiest men, like Chase and Citadel CEOs.
Pardon me, I live under a rock. So I was like, wait, who are these guys? I thought you were talking about your homies.
They're like dudes like literally worth like $50 billion.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe I need to get out more.
Yeah, so I figured it was a joke, but even either way, I'm trying not to be hard on this. We've discussed it many times with intros where like I personally just even the automatically going to I'm not sure if I have time thing is not my personal choice for an intro. But I mean, I think it matched your vibe. You came in quick. It was, a little high powered for me, but I think you still delivered it relatively well. So I'm gonna give you 3.75 on it. Rapport, I'm going to be a little bit tougher. It felt like a bit of a disconnect. I actually really agree with Daniel with the logic of like a fiend. Like I felt like she was talking like someone who like had someone like behind their shoulder. Like there was like this weird nervous energy in the way she was answering questions. And I think you could have went a really long way just addressing it. I'm gonna give you 3 on that. I think that was like the key to unlocking the conversation. Honestly, just addressing that part overall. I think you still did well enough with your questioning and your efficiency through the conversation to just ask enough questions to push it forward. I do think she kind of gave it to you a little bit, but I think part of it was the fact that you were pushing through it. You didn't really give her the chance to think. But I think you missed addressing the fact that she had this like pent up nervous energy. I'm not going to kill you on the fact finding. I mean, you got the information. She might have given it a little bit too easy. But I think that got you more on the report than it did on the fact finding. You got the main thing, right? I also think it was a bit of a leap mentioning the substance thing, but you were trying to push through the convo and get where you were. You weren't too far off, I guess, with the gambling. You were dealing with the vice.
It's like,
but I
so
think
you're on crack? You want to sell your house? I got you.
I think it was a bit of a bold ask, but I mean, at least you were listening well enough where you got that vibe. Some people would have completely even missed that. So I'm gonna give you the 4 on that. You got the information. I think there was plenty of people who would have missed that. Overcoming objections, I'll give you the 375. I didn't see too many objections. The flow was it was a little bit off. But when there's an elephant in the room, like the fact that she's like trying to hide this from her significant other, like there's this weird nervous energy, or not going to address it, there's just always going to be like a bit of that disconnect. It's going to make it a little difficult. Solutions, I'm going to stick with my theme for the night. I think you touched on it, but there was just not enough time to dig a little bit deeper and to get a little bit further with that. And strength, close, and follow up, you started to tee it up. I'm going to give you a 2.5 on that as well.
Let's go. This is a tough one. For me, and I don't know this, Tim, I don't know what your daily schedule looks like. But when I hear this situation, sorry, my mic's turned down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make this assumption. You can tell me. But when I hear this, I hear a reps issue. I just feel like if you're having more conversations, a lot of these things that you tried get flushed out because you just realize what works and doesn't work, and you stick with what works. Unless you were just trying to flex for the competition side of things, I don't know. But dude, give us your thoughts, give us your feedback on the whole thing. Sorry, did I go too loud? I apologize, guys.
my speaker was really
Balance.
loud.
I mean, it wasn't really meant to be a flex. I get how it comes across that way. It's more of a joke because it's something completely outrageous where, like you said, if people understand who they are, then they're probably going to know that it's completely outrageous. So that was kind of one of those, I don't know if Easter egg is the right word of what I'm looking for, but it was not really meant for something to be the main focus. Kind of like I played off of Ski because all those people put it in their name when they were signing up for it. So it was just me being a smartass. So I was just trying to be playful. But I get where you're all coming from, and I appreciate that. I could be a reps thing. You mean by like repetitions, right? Making
Correct.
phone calls?
Correct.
Reps with foreclosures, sure. Reps with seriously distressed homeowners, reps in terms of overall calls, I don't think that that's necessarily it. I've been doing this for a couple months only, so, you know, if we're talking about reps over years, sure, I can always do more, for sure. But yeah, this was a playful scenario for me because it's not something I've ever dealt with, so it was catered pretty much exclusively to this event right here.
Yeah. That makes sense. And that's sometimes it's a strategy, right? Like, and I don't think that's a bad play. I think people come in here with different goals and different ways on how they want to perform. I think what you did could have went either direction, and that's just a matter of the situation. You could have got a seller profile where that landed and you had immediate rapport and everything went great, right? That was a risk that you took. I respect the shot that you took. It just didn't land in this particular circumstance, and that's the way it played out. But you earned your seat here, right? Like, you're up here for a reason, and you're coming out here, you're doing your things, and you always have great energy. Like, anytime you come out, because it's the consistency part for me. And bro, like, you're one of the regular names that we see in Zooms like this. And for a person who's been doing this for a couple months, who's new, anytime you see somebody constantly exposing themselves to things that will help them get better at their craft, that for me demonstrates the type of attitude of somebody who might have the likelihood of sticking around for a while and actually winning at this thing. So respect to you, man. Kudos.
Yeah, good job, bro. By the way, your New England personality tripled down on it. That's what led that to that joke. People just didn't get it, but people don't get us New Englanders up here. You know what I'm saying?
Is it an altitude thing? Is there just not enough oxygen up there, or like what's the situation?
Nah. It's a Boston thing, right? But like Tim, I see his thing says he's from Vermont.
I actually lived in Boston before I moved up here.
That's what I was just gonna say. You're practically from Boston. You know what I'm saying?
And I lived out west. I lived out in the desert out west, and it's definitely different. The sarcasm and stuff is just not received in the same way. But
100%.
Just me being playful.
Sarcasm is a requirement in my interactions. Yvonne said that she lived in Medford. Medford. So, all right. Well, shout out to you guys. Guys, just so you know, we got one final go for the night. We got the sassy Jeremy Davis. Guys, look at this background. Look at this face, right? Like, if he wasn't married, you could bring this face home to your mother, could you not? And probably be well received. You just screenshot this. Ladies, if you're single and you have your family asking you if you're dating somebody, just screenshot Jeremy and send that face. For a fee, he will play your significant other for a short period of time. I think you do holidays as well, right? Like it's an upcharge, but
I do holidays. I also body double. If your significant other, you just don't really want to stare at that any longer. Like I'll come in with a bag. That's all that, I mean, but that's aside from that. That's an extra.
That's a different Zoom. Yeah. That being said, all right, Mike's been putting the reps in. Mike learned early on to switch the focus here. I'm excited to see how this goes. Final guy for the night, and I'm glad that he's going last because this guy's been holding down what they call Freaky Fridays for a couple of years now. Just so you know, of all of the nightly dial nights, listen, all of the nightly dial nights, Friday, without question, has the most contracts signed live in Zoom. Without question. Probably more than all of the other nights put together. So Mike really does this. I'm excited to see how this thing goes. Mike, how you feeling, man?
I'm excited, bro.
Okay. Savannah, are you ready on your side? Okay, you got your stuff ready? You got your personalities? Don't send the thing to Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Send it to Jeremy, Samir, and myself. Nervous giggle. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what this final thing is going to be. I missed Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith offered earlier. I think he's gone now to do the feedback for my call. But we had too many people to go tonight, so maybe we'll do it on Monday if he's here. I got Rob.
No, I want it like on a YouTube video like he did his. That was so good.
Okay. Well, tell him. Message in the chat that it needs to be in a YouTube video so the world can see.
Did you get that, Mike?
What was that?
I'm joking.
All right, let's read this. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what personality profile you get to go with this. I think that'll make a big difference. That being said, Mike, do you have all those things? Are you ready?
It's all ready, yeah.
All right. You nervous, Savannah?
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally
Always.
determining whether or not Mike makes it to. I'm just kidding.
Stop! Don't put it like that. Nothing is personal. That's why I'm like randomizing it. Like I feel real bad about Ross. Like that intro was tough.
No, you got to do what you got to do. And you're doing the right thing. I'm excited. Keep doing what you've been doing this whole time, Savannah. That's why these scores are a little tougher because people got to work hard for it. And I think if you're going to stand on the stage with pace and show you're the best closer, you got to earn it, right? So that being said, Mike, you know what it is, man. You say ring, ring. As soon as she answers, I hit the timer. And then you got 6 minutes to make magic happen, homie. You ready, Savannah?
Get it.
Let's go.
All right, Mike, on you.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Savannah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Mike. You spoke to Brendan on my team. He set us up on this call because you were potentially looking to sell your property, right?
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Well, I don't have too much time, and I want to help you out as much as possible. So tell me what's going on.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time?
Mike, you just
Am
cut
I
out.
not hearing anything?
You cut out. I don't know if you're.
Yo.
Yeah, you're
okay. I can hear you now.
No, it glitched out, dude. We got to start it over. I'm
Start
sorry.
again.
Yeah, you got to start over. Your audio just completely cut out for some reason.
Mine did?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that when it's my turn, so I can buy some more time. I'll be like,
It's a solid
okay, I know what
strategy.
she's gonna say.
No,
Let me restart.
I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Oh, you couldn't hear me? I'm sorry. Okay.
That's a full strategy play.
Was that
Demo.
my
No,
fault?
I didn't try. Hey, listen. I did not plan this.
Listen, I can't hear you. Can you tell me your motivation?
All right, so what are you judges? What do you say? Does she re-randomize the personality profile, or does she stay where it's at and we just rerun it?
Stay where it's at.
We didn't get far.
We didn't get far. You didn't uncover much. Okay. All right. You earned a free giveaway. If your internet goes out this time, you just lose the time, Mike. You got to recover. So
I got you, bro.
all right. We going. Let me restart this timer thing. Hold on. All right. Stop. Pause. Reset. All right. Do your thing.
All righty. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Savannah.
Yeah.
Savannah, this is Mike. Brendan on my team set us up on this call because you were potentially looking to sell your property. I really don't have too much time, and I want to help you out as much as possible, so we could just get right into things. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I have a house I'm trying to sell. I kind of, told Brandon the whole situation, so he said he would give you the notes about it.
Yeah, literally, I just got into the office. So you have this house that you're looking to sell. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's pretty new. It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful house. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's got a big loft upstairs. It's all granite. It's gorgeous. It's custom built. I
Love
mean,
it.
like I got to pick all, it was really fun. Okay, so I got to pick all the flooring, I got to pick out the wall colors, I got to pick out like the crown molding. So
Everything?
yeah, so it's
That's great.
gorgeous.
So let me ask you, you got to pick out everything, like personalize your whole entire house. Why
Hmm.
would you ever sell this thing?
I'm just gonna say this. I didn't get to personalize the neighborhood and the people who live around me. So yeah, I mean it's a gorgeous house and I would put this house anywhere else. I just don't want to be here, you know?
Mm. What's going on in the neighborhood?
It's just I guess I didn't do enough research. I moved from out of state, so I don't know. Where are you from?
I'm from Boston.
Boston. Okay, well, I'm from Temecula, well, I was from Temecula, California. It's like one of the safest cities in America. Like no crime, like you can leave your doors unlocked, like it's a great city to raise kids. Like it was just I wish I could go back there, but I moved here for work. And so I decided to buy this house. It was a new build. I just didn't, I guess, do enough research about the neighborhood. And there's just a bunch of hoodlums. Like my
Really?
car's been
So,
broken.
so,
Yeah.
so tell me, granted, it stinks. You didn't really know the neighborhood. Obviously, you've never lived in that state, right? But what about the neighbors themselves are getting you upset?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. So my car got broken into, my house got broken into, all of my packages that I ordered from Amazon, Ulta, Sephora, Nordstrom, all of those have been stolen right off my front porch. I put a camera up, like I literally see them, but they like put like hoodies on. You can't really see, police can't really do anything about it. It's just like frustrating. So it's just, I mean, can you imagine like knowing your house has been broken into, someone vandalized it and just it's just gone through all my personal like I can't even sleep
No,
there at
that's
night,
crazy.
especially as like single woman there, so
That is nuts. Well, maybe Savannah for her next property can also come along with a husband to take care of everything. But regardless, it was a joke. Um, so let me ask, you have this property that you put everything into, you practically made it brand new. Why aren't you just listing it on the market with an agent?
I did actually have it on the market with an agent, but it didn't go that well, so I've just been like filling out all these websites to like sell my home quickly, but yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's a little bit tricky.
Well, why don't you think it's sold?
I think because what my realtor said was because I purchased it recently, like there's not a lot of like, I guess, room between what it's worth and what I owe. And so
Mm,
we did list it a little bit higher so we could, of course, like take care of all the closing costs and the commissions. But you've seen these rates, like things are sitting on the market anyway, and it's not really competitively priced. So I think that's what had a lot to do with it. So I decided like maybe I should try to, just sell it on my own where I don't have to pay those commissions. So,
mm.
I was filling out websites.
That stinks, man. And the thing is, the market shifted just a little bit here in the past year. So along with the realtors charging a bunch of money and the market shifting, it's probably hard for you to even maybe sell this property without coming out of pocket. Is that the case?
Yes, exactly. So but I need to get out of here. Like I cannot be here
Well, what
yeah.
what let me ask, what happens if you don't end up selling it?
That's like not really an option. Like I have security systems and cameras, but I mean, I just feel like anyone could just break in here again at any time, you know? And
So
I,
besides the neighborhood, there's nothing else that is going on.
I guess I'm missing home a little bit, but I have to stay here for my job. So I think if I just found a better like area to move to, maybe
Okay.
even like gated community or maybe an apartment building with a guard, I don't know,
All right.
something.
Well, sorry to interrupt. I gotta run here in like a minute, but
Okay.
good thing that we had a conversation. This is literally exactly what I do. I come in and I help people that don't really have too much equity in their property. I can't go too deep into the weeds of what exactly we can do, and I got to go back to the team and see if this property is something that we would actually pursue. But if we were to come in, sell your property to us without you having to come out of pocket with any, for the realtor fees and stuff like that, is that something that you want to move forward with?
Yeah, I mean, like if you could help me get out of this and get into a better place.
Okay, let me do this. Let me go talk to my team. Let me try to qualify this as a property that we would pursue. I'll call you in 2 hours. Are you going to be available in 2 hours?
Yeah, just call me. Yeah, you can call me. If I don't answer, just leave a message. I'll call you back as soon as I, can.
And that's
That counted.
time,
That
ladies and
counted.
gentlemen.
That counted.
And that is
I had my timer on too.
Okay, yo, Mike, just so you know, Ivana's a big fan of Mike G, bro. She really, really is. She always got your back in the background, bro.
Hey,
always.
That's my homegirl from Medford, baby. Like,
I love it. Good stuff. Really, really was interesting. I think you came through with a little bit of some clutch saves in the back end. Let's pull up the score, Samir. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah, this was an interesting call. I'm really I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'll go, then we'll let Jeremy go. We'll let Samir wrap it up as he has for the remaining portion of this evening. Again, Jeremy has scored these in the past. He hasn't scored this particular one, but I think he has a vibe for really what the goal is here. He may agree with some of the stuff I say. He may disagree, and that's completely fine. That's kind of the nature of how this works. That being said, I'm going 4.85 on the intro. It was you on both of them. You had a flat ending that didn't transition well. It was real, like just kind of a curt ending. Other than that, I think they're good. They're to the point. They get in there. You had a variation on both of your intros, but they both ended very similarly. Even though the intro was different, your voice was way more buttery the second time around. But I just think it was just the dry transition would have been the only change to stop that from being a 5. I liked the intro. Rapport building, I'm going 4.25. It would have been 4.5 if that "get you a man" joke had landed. It did not land, and it was awkward. It could have worked. It could have worked, but she just awkwardly silenced. But I think it would have been a 4.5 had that been there. I don't want to overscore you with the yellow seller because it's really, really, guys, if you're new to real estate, listen to me. Savannah was clearly a yellow seller. Do not think that somebody telling you their entire life story is a result of your skills, right? Your skills have to be able to differentiate between their oversharing and their actual appreciation for who you are as a person. Those are not the same thing. And it is very easy for people to have 40-minute conversations with yellow sellers and be like, but why didn't I close it? They just liked that they were finding somebody that talked to them about their personal life or medical bills. Why do 85% of yellow sellers have medical problems, by the way? Anyways, this is a different conversation. That being said, fact-finding and uncovering motivation. He got everything, didn't he? It's a 5. You got all of them, right? Like there was nothing left on the table. There was nothing else that you didn't get there. Was it because she was yellow? Maybe, but you asked the questions that uncovered it. It didn't just fall out. So good stuff there. Overcoming objections. There was something that happened that I remembered that I think you did well, and I was like, okay, that was good. I don't remember what it is. I'm going 4.25 on overcoming objections. Presentation of solutions. You simmered a little too long. You in the last 50 seconds decided a third-party story, hit the wrap up. Like, if you would have gave yourself an extra 40 seconds there, I think you would have crushed this department. I genuinely was like, shit, like, what is Mike going to do right now? He's got like 50 seconds left. I wasn't sure, bro. That transition, guys, this is what I think is important about being able to control a call. Because he flawlessly took a call that was seemingly flailing and then transitioned it and immediately got it to a follow-up, and it sounded good, right? Guess what? This is exactly what we do. I loved that. I'm giving you a 4.25 on that as well. You would have got a 5 if you would have given yourself more time and maybe gave her a little bit more. But I think you did a good job with that. You got to the follow-up. You didn't finish it. I'm giving you a 4.5 on the follow-up.
I want to
Good
go
stuff,
last. I want to go last. And also, Samir, there's an extra E there. See, that's
Jeremy. That looks like a completely different name when you add the extra E.
Is that it? Is that it? How am I getting it?
I want to go last.
All right, Samir,
Okay.
you good? All right, do your thing, bro.
Yeah. Oh wait, okay. Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna ding you on the intro for this one reason. The second time was smooth, but you gotta redo. I like the second time a little bit better.
Yo, come
I'm
on,
gonna give
bro.
you.
Yo, listen, bro. That's not my fault.
It was a
That's not my
very
fault,
similar
bro.
He did
intro.
that on purpose.
I thought it was
Dude,
y'all. I thought y'all was
it was-
sabotaging me, bro. I couldn't hit that.
It was clean. The second time, just a little bit like, "Hey, Savannah," I felt it. It was. You turned it up a little bit. I would have given you the 5. I'm gonna give you 4.25. I'm gonna give you 4.75. It was the first one was also very good. I think it was clean.
Yeah.
It was just a little flat. 100%. I agree with Daniel on that. It was just a tad flat. The second one, it was a little bit. You stood it off a little bit at the end. No jokes aside. But it was clean. It was about as good of an intro as we've heard this evening. The yellow seller thing is tough because like I don't want to hold it against you because the convo went smooth and you guys were going back and forth. But also it's tough to tell. Is it just her talking? Is it not? I'll give you the 4.5 on rapport. I think the cup flowed. I think the joke thing went a little against you, but I think the convo, for the most part, flowed well. It's tough, especially with the yellow seller, to even get a word in. So at least like when she was mentioning the getting vandalized and stuff, at least you were able to, you had to force it a little bit, but acknowledge like, oh my God, like, it's tough that's happening. It at least keeps you in the convo listening. I have to give you a 5 on the fact finding. You literally got every single thing, like line by line. I was concerned you weren't going to really dive into the equity thing. And I think that is kind of where you maybe missed an opportunity where you could have probably gone through the solutions too. There wasn't really a lot of time left, but you at least addressed it. Like it came up. Overcoming objections. I didn't really hear a lot. Again, I think maybe once you start to go down the sub 2 route, which is why I'm not going to say it was perfect. Something would have come up, but you were so deep into the fact finding stage, and we really just barely touch on that. I'll give you 4.25 on that. I think it was pretty smooth on that presentation of solutions. There just wasn't enough time left. I think you were right about to get to it. Like you made the switch. There wasn't a lot. I will say it was better than for the most part, where I think it was just laying it out on the table. You clearly had it's just something about that tonality of like, okay, cool. Like I'm about to, even just that difference compared to everyone else who just said, I'm going to go to the team and come back. You just saying like, okay, great. Like we've dealt with this. I'll give you 4.25 on that also. I think it's better than just laying out the table, but like, I don't think, we could go a lot higher than that. On the follow-up, I'll leave a little room for cleaning it up just for a little extra finesse, but I'll give you 4.75 on that. You still got it. I think you got there most of the way. Super solid call, bro.
Word up.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. No, I said, yeah, that last transition, man, that thing saved you. This thing was a different score altogether had you not done that. In my opinion.
Sharp.
So I think this was like especially for understanding your style and giving you space to be who you are. I think that was really good. Jeremy's the wild card, so we got to see what he's going to say. Let's go, Jeremy.
All right.
Maybe Hammer 2.0.
So before I get into the scoring, I want to say one thing, that I think Savannah laid that down way too easy. Okay? And I'm not going to mark you down, Mike, because of that. Savannah, if she was a real seller, she would not have said all the things she said if she was really trying to sell her house. What she would have said is, I want to move closer to family. I'm not going to give away all the reasons why you don't want to buy this house. Literally, it's like saying, hi, you want to sleep with me? By the way, I have AIDS. Are you okay with that? Like, no, nobody in their right mind is ever going to say that. Sorry if you have AIDS, by the way.
Wow.
But my point is, is that a lot of the beginning of that conversation went really smooth and really well for Mike because she was being an unrealistic, she was being a seller that's not real. That was almost like a fairy tale conversation. So again, if this was if this was the situation that it was, what Mike needed to understand was why, not is why is she wanting to sell it, but why didn't it sell? Okay. And understanding the equity, understanding the way she purchased it, understanding all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm going to get into the points now.
Yeah.
Strength of intro. Mike, 4.9. Okay. I think you came in that intro super strong. You weren't sounding desperate, but you also weren't sounding super cocky. You're like, hey, I'm here. I'm here to fix the problems, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've got a little bit of time. This is where I want to go. Tell me about the property, or tell me what it is. And she went into literally like, I love the property. That is real. That is a yellow personality. They can absolutely say, like today, I literally spoke to a seller. I was like, he literally said it has amazing shutters, is what he said. Amazing shutters on the windows. Great, man. I'm happy you're happy for your shutters. She's like, oh, I got to pick the crown molding, all that kind of stuff. And your lead into the question of, it sounds like your house is amazing. This is a dream home. What makes you want to sell?
Fantastic.
That was great. So the strength of the intro and leading to that point was absolutely fantastic. The only reason that I'm not giving you a 5 on that one is because, again, she came out way too fast out of the gate. And I think that most sellers would not have been like, oh my God, I did the crown molding and the paint and I got to pick the floors. And like, anyway.
I think that was her attempt at being super yellow.
Sure.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, that almost screwed me up.
Yeah, it's not real. It was very.
Jeremy is coming for his competition. Coming for her.
Listen, yeah, get her, Jeremy. Nah,
Savannah, listen, and
Speak
can
your
I
truth,
just
Jeremy.
to Savannah? Can I just judge Savannah now? All right, so
Judge Savannah. Yeah, let's do that.
okay, so no, but seriously, on the rapport building, Mike, I think you did a really, really good job there. I'm going to stay right at about 4.5. You had good conversation. It was a real conversation. If that was a first date and you were sitting at a table with her, that would have led somewhere, right? That was, it was definitely, it made me feel warm and fuzzy knowing that was a good conversation, okay? Fact finding, not going to be good, okay? Fact finding, I'm going to give you a 3.5. And the reason that is because you did not ask any questions why the property did not sell before. You did not ask anything about, hey, did you come in with a conventional purchase? Was this an FHA? She just bought the property.
He did ask that. He did ask that.
Yeah, I did ask that.
Did I miss that? Sorry. If I missed that.
No, so he did ask that, and then what he did, which I thought about this too. When she said that I just recently bought it, I heard Mike say, oh, okay, I understand, which means in my head, what clicked is what I assume clicked in his head is she just bought this thing. There's no equity, no reason to dig into that. Let's move on. That's kind of what I extracted from that.
But she never said that he never asked was it conventional or FHA, right?
No, he did ask like when it was on the market why it didn't sell or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And why did
he addressed it was low equity. He just didn't get into the specifics of it.
Yeah.
Nick, what I would have gone with that is the minute I found out that she just bought the property, I'm already assuming this is a low equity play, and I'm already assuming this is not going to be a cash offer. So I'm already going down the mindset of sub 2. And what I want to uncover now is how much equity does she have? If she bought a conventional with 20% down, then I know that she's expecting to get some cash in her pocket. If there's no ability for her to drop her price, which is why it didn't sell, which means it was more than likely an FHA, then you have to ask the question, why do you think it didn't sell? Were you able to lower your price? If you were able to lower your price, do you think it would have sold? Are you able to lower your price now? No, you're not. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. When your agent got it under contract before and put it on the market, did they ever explain to you that they might be able to sell it if they kept your mortgage in place? Did they ever talk to you about that? No, they didn't? Oh, well, that is how we're able to make this deal happen. right?
Yeah,
So,
no,
like,
so what I said though is I was like, wait, so if you were to sell this thing, are you gonna have to come out of pocket in order to sell it? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah. So he did ask. So it wasn't as detailed as what you're suggesting. He just mildly lobbed it across though. But he did, to his credit, he did. bring it
But
up.
Jeremy, I agree with you. Like, given the situation, we need to know like, you know, what type of loan it is, all that type of stuff in order for us to really present a solution that is gonna solve a problem at the end of the day.
the fact that we already know she just bought the property and it's in perfect condition, we know this is not a cash play. So going from first minute, we already know we're going to go down the subject to offer. That's our only play here, right?
Yeah.
And so going into that, overcoming objections. I'm across the board on the 4.25. You're answering her questions, doing all that kind of stuff. Presentation of solutions. I'll put you at, because again, going back to my point, knowing that this was going to be a subject to offer from the start, I would have started to lead into that a little bit earlier. So I felt like you didn't have enough time. And I know you even said that, hey, I can't get into this right now, but I would have said presentation of solutions, I'll put it at a 4. And because I would have liked to have had you have more time to talk about what
Objections
that might
was
be.
4.25, Samir. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, just a little bit more time to present the solutions might have been good. That's all I was, again, leading towards. And then finally, strength of the follow-up. I'm just going to give you, I'll make up those points. I'm going to put it as a 5. I think you did really, I think you really did good on, I think you did good on the strength of the follow-up. I think you created rapport that you were leaving her with, that you have an opportunity here, that this is what you do. I'm going to go to my team. They're going to see if this is a property that they want to underwrite this, blah, 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 blah. And when you come back to that next conversation, you're going to say, I'm able to do this if you can do what I need. So there you go.
Agreed.
Fantastic feedback. He made up the point in the discrepancy. Mike, you just took first place in this competition with the first score above 80 to date. How are you feeling, man?
Good, bro. I appreciate the feedback, bro. I'll be honest. I was when she first got out the gate really strong and she started giving me all this information. Oh, I just bought the property. It's great. I put a lot into it. I'm like, dang, where am I gonna go from here? But very quickly I realized I'm like, oh, I could just say, well, you put all the stuff into it. Why the heck would you ever sell it?
Yeah.
And that kind of opened the floodgates. But appreciate you guys' feedback. Jeremy, appreciate the feedback too. And I agree. Like if this was a full seller call, dude, you got to get into the weeds of like what's going on, like exactly how much would you have had to come out of pocket if you sold it on the market? Like there's no way of you going down at all. And like really, really trying to help solve her problem with her and get on her team. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even questions like, I know you want to move. You're in a bad area. I don't know if I can put money in your pocket right now, but would that be something we can talk about at a later date? If I can pay you your equity over time, that's other questions I want to ask you. Like there was a lot of fact finding. That's why I marked you down on that part, because there was a lot of questions you had to ask about what she needed and what she wanted. And then you came in with the solutions.
Guys, I want to say this, right? And there's a saying that's out there. You guys hear Pace say it a lot. It's how you do anything is how you do everything, right? When Mike first, we've had this theme a lot and especially in round 2, because you have a lot of people who come out here, they just didn't practice. Like, I make these calls, or no, I'm good, or I'm whatever. And I get it. Like, I understand it. As a person who does this and is good at communicating, it's very easy and natural to feel that, right? Mike came out of that with his very, very first tryout and literally didn't make it. He got voted off the island, right? And what was crazy is, and I'll let Mike speak to this for himself, it changed something in him, and he completely shifted that strategy. And he made it clear to us that he has been practicing like crazy going into this. Mike, talk to that a little bit.
No, it's very true, bro. So the first day, I think this is literally the first day we started the closers competition in the first round. It was a recording for anybody that wasn't there. So you had to bring in a recording, okay? And it was the first day, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm the freaking guy, bro. I got all the recordings. I could just play one of the recordings, and I'm gonna get into the next round. I ain't got to worry about that. So I literally pull up a recording. I'm like, I'll go first. I don't care. Here's my recording. Play it. And you're facing somebody else. And the dude that I was facing, he was prepared, bro.
It was Dylan,
like
wasn't it?
No. It wasn't Dylan.
It was
Yeah,
somebody
it wasn't
prepared.
Yeah, it was somebody. It was somebody on the team that has
It was
the
Kevin.
three people.
It was Kevin. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So Kevin did a freaking great job. Sergio, Kevin, and the other guy on his team, they're freaking killers, man.
Yeah.
And he was super prepared. He legit like sped up the call. He even put 2 calls into 1 call. And while he's playing his call, because he played it second, I was like, dang, hold on, I'm about to lose, bro. Like, what the heck? After that, I was thinking about this. I'm like, whatever, bro. It's just a competition. And then I started thinking about it on the next nightly dial that I was on. And I was like, wait, nah, bro. I ain't going out like that. I screwed up. This is my fault. I got to go get this thing back. I got to go redeem myself because I came into this thing very unprepared. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Pace Morby, if you're Grant Cardone, if you're Danny Quijano, if you're Tom Brady. You got to prepare, bro. You got to be prepared. And that's it. So for the past week, me and my team have just been preparing. I started hopping on seller calls. I haven't been on many seller calls for the past year or so. I'm just like, all right, let me get back in the system. I've been doing at least 30 minutes of talk time a day in the system and doing some role plays in my team too. So
yeah, you were
got
practicing 6-minute role plays with your team, were you not?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, guys. And that's why for me, whatever you're going to do, whether it's this competition, whether it's business, whatever in life, you just got to really approach it with the decision to say, am I going to give myself a bunch of reasons why I don't have to do the extra things? Or am I just going to treat everything like it deserves the respect that it deserves? And I'm going to give my all in every category, right? And I just think when you decide to do that, things show up differently. Mike is the only person I've heard come in here say, I've been practicing 6-minute role plays all week. You've had a couple people that have been practicing. You have a couple people that have been practicing one-offs. Of the people that have gone up to this point, he's one of the few that I've heard say, I've been practicing 6-minute role plays all week. And as a result, he now has the highest score in the competition. I don't think that that's an accident. I think it's just the effort you put into something will determine what you get out of it. Now, some people might say, oh, it's just a silly competition. What does that matter? Cool, that's fair. What I can tell you is that the things that you'll learn and take away from an effort like this, I promise you, are bigger than you realize. And 2, I don't know. Jeremy, your opinion. You're not in this competition. Do you think if you're somewhat new to real estate and you want to develop a brand, being able to say you stood on the stage next to Pace Morby competing to see who's the best closer is something that's worth having on your resume that people will take seriously?
I mean, would Benif be anywhere if he wasn't standing side by side next to RJ Bates?
There you go.
He'd be nothing, nowhere. We don't even know. We don't even care about him. He wouldn't even be a. I'm just kidding. We'd care about him.
We'd still care about him. Just fewer people would know his name, right? And in that situation, it matters, right? Because when you go and you want to raise private capital, you want to find people to collaborate with you, to send you deals, to do business with you. The thing they're going to look at is, well, who are you, right? Great. You posted a thing on Facebook and you added an emoji. That's great. But who are you? And this says a lot about who you are, in my opinion. So Mike, it's very unlikely, in my opinion, that you get bumped out of this running. So I think that the likelihood of you competing on that same stage in Arizona is pretty positive, bro. And I think it's well earned. It's well deserved. You've been putting in this work for a long time in your business, in this Zoom, and this competition is far from over yet. But I'm really, really excited about the way this score, numbered up tonight, man. I think you did a fantastic job.
Me too, bro. And you helped me out a lot too. You helped me realize this. It was between you saying bro, you got to take this thing serious. How you do anything is how you do everything. And that gave me a reminder. But then literally I think it was the Sunday after that nightly dial, I'm listening to one of my pastors that I listen to, and he tells a story. And this is what I'll leave people with. He's like, there's a story of 2 people, and they're both lumberjacks, okay? And they both you know, all they do all day is just hit down trees with their axe. And there's a younger lumberjack who's shredded. Dude has abs, he's like veins popping out, all the things. There's another lumberjack that's older. He's maybe 65 years old. He's on his way out of the game. He's about to retire in about a year. The younger lumberjack goes to the older dude and is like, hey, I want to compete. I want to do a competition with you. Whoever gets the most trees knocked down in 4 hours wins. Okay. So the old man's like, nah, bro, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm about to be out the game. He's like, really? You ain't about to do this, old man? So the old man's like, all right, screw it, let's do it. So they do the competition. The young guy is just going after it, hammering away. 20 trees down. He looks back 2 hours later, okay, looks back, and the old man is sitting down on a stump. And the younger dude's like, bro, I got this in the bag. Laughs at him. I got this in the bag. Keeps chopping down trees. 4 hours goes by. Okay. The younger lumberjack had 40 trees down. He's ready. Going to the older dude. So how many trees you get down? Homeboy says 80. The older dude says 80. I knocked 80 trees down. He's like, no, there's no way. You must have cheated. You had to have cheated. Like, I saw you sitting down. Like, there's no way you had 80 trees. The dude was like, well, here's the thing, son. While I was sitting on the stump, I wasn't just taking a break. I was sharpening my axe. Okay? I was sharpening my sword, which ultimately allowed me to get 80 trees while you only got 40. And when I got that message, bro, I was like, who the hell do I think I am, bro? Like, no matter who you are, no matter if you're Tom Brady, Pace Morby, Grant, like, yo, you got to be sharpening your axe at all times. And that's it, no matter what gifts that you've been given. So that's what we're doing here, man.
Nah, honestly, man, I love that analogy. It's a fantastic story. And I think that the reason that the Tom Brady's and the Pace Morbys are who they are is because they stay sharpening that axe, right? And I think that's a big thing. When I talk about sales and sales training and why I put so much effort and time that I do into doing this, it's because I recognize that very fact. Guys, you can say that you're doing the work and you're, here in the skill set, and that's great. And maybe you'll make 1,000 calls and you'll get, 50 deals. Whatever those numbers look like are fine. What I can promise you this, when it comes to human interaction, you sharpen that axe, you're going to work less and make more. It's just the way it is. And if you're willing to work more, then the amount that you're able to make and the things that you're able to accomplish, the problems you're able to solve will be mind-blowing to you. But you got to be willing to sharpen that axe. You got to be willing to put that work in. And training like this sharpens the axe. Changing the way your brain processes communication, the way that you understand people that you're interacting with, and the way you bridge that gap in your communication will 1,000% transform your life. Talk to anybody who's doing this at scale, they will tell you the same thing. Jeremy can tell you. I've made fun of some of Jeremy's calls back in the day. We won't talk about the stages of grief. We'll leave that alone for a different zone.
Dude, that one made me like $300,000 because it came back around. So don't get at me. But
okay, but you are not the same person you were then. My guess is your calls now compared to those are it's a different human being, right? And that just proves the point. You can still chop down trees with a dull axe, but what happens if you sharpen it? You know what I mean? And that's the point of these Zooms. That's the point of this competition, and that's why we're all here. That's why, guys, we spent 4 hours here tonight. Over 100, up to 150 people for the majority of the call. We still have over 100 people still here. Guys, this just shows you how important this is to a lot of people. And let me finalize this with this. Guys, take this as seriously as you want to. You can learn as much as you want in real estate. But I'm going to tell you something without a shadow of a doubt. And maybe this will make you realize whether or not learning how to get good at this communication thing is important to you. There are millions of houses out there. But you know what else there is? Almost 130-something thousand people inside of the free creative real estate with Pace Morby Facebook page, right? Tens of thousands of people are calling the same people that you're calling. And guess what? Pace is going to keep getting challenges to get more people to start. When you're faced against those odds, what do? Do you quit? Do you say it's saturated? Or do you recognize that the game is going to continue to evolve? How do I stand out? And instead of being worried about the fact that I am going to be another one of the 100 people that called them, How do I focus on how do I be the one that they remember? Whether a seller buys from me or sells to me or not, I can tell you this, 8, 9 times out of 10, they're going to remember me. They're going to remember my conversation, right? And that's what you need to do. Whatever it is, make sure they remember you. And the way you do that is by learning how to stand out. The way you do that is by learning the skills that we taught here tonight. So that being said, guys, I hope you guys all got amazing, amazing value from this tonight. If you did, do us a favor. Take a screenshot, go to your social media, tag me, tag Jeremy, Samir, Mike, Savannah. Go to your personal social media, tell everybody they're missing out from not being in Sub 2 and not being here. Go to the Sub 2 Facebook group. I would love to see 107 people tag Pace tonight that this was insane value and they learned something. If you didn't learn something, don't make a post. But if you learn something and you don't make a post, tell me why you hate me. That's all I want to know. That being said, hey, fellas, you got any final thoughts while we give people the opportunity to take the screenshots and set their post up?
This was amazing. I'm very happy that you text me about how bad Savannah was in the role play. And I'm glad that we hit the challenge to talk about AIDS on a call. So, I mean,
we all have our goals.
Yep. But no, thank you very much for having me, guys. Maybe at the next one, I'll actually compete. Maybe I'll do that.
I think you should. I think it would be dope to see you there. Are you going to be coming
Can
out?
I say something real quick, Dan, before you?
Yeah, hold on one second. Jeremy, are you going to come out to be a seller during some of these things? We got like another week or two. Okay, awesome. Dope. Naomi, what you got?
I just wanted to say really quickly, because you touched on something when you talked about sharpening the axe in terms of our human interactions, and you let a few of us sit in on your sales training thing last night, and I thought it was super powerful because it really, there's levels to the sharpening of the axe thing. You can teach a person how to interact better, but at the core, what your program does is teach people to be better humans, right? So like you can learn the skill set, but ultimately, if you really do feel empathy, if you really do have compassion, you're going to be that much more effective at it. So that was just a shout out to like the levels of it and how your training program is like it's like this on steroids. So I just wanted to thank you again for last night.
No, 100%. And the only reason that exists is because of Pace and because of the things that we've been doing here for so many years for free for the people that are in the Sub 2 community. And I have no intention of stopping that. As long as this needs to be a thing, we're going to be here providing value to the people who are part of this community because this community is family. So that's the goal, right? And you know, Pace sets a standard, and it's our goal if we want to follow that standard or do our own thing, right? Samir, Mike, you guys got anything else?
Yeah, man. Shout out Jeremy. Appreciate you hopping out, bro. Love getting different opinions. Love the feedback, the analogies especially. And just shout out Mike, man. Mike has been killing Freaky Friday.
Mike,
also,
go ahead,
a word to consistency, bro. Tell me not. Out of all the people we've had doing this with us, like Mike, 10 out of 10.
Up there.
Always here.
Up there.
Always helping everybody out. Always locked in. Super happy for you, bro. You deserve the score. You deserve a lot more.
Mike, how nervous were you when Jeremy started scoring? Because you saw the numbers and it was like on the line. And you're like, I don't know this dude like that. What's like how?
Nah, Jeremy was like, I want to go last, and I was like, God dang it.
This is why I like the feedback. He was right on a lot of the things on the 3.5. Like we went straight off the score, but they were all solid points on like about digging deeper. That's really where that experience makes a difference, like on how everyone thinks. But I did think he was going to get you.
I was wondering. I was like, man, he's going to hit him with a 5 in total. Not. That being said, guys, again, hope you guys make the post. Make sure you tag us. Hope you guys have an amazing night. Do something special this weekend that's going to be memorable. Monday, we are back at this again. We're going to be doing it. It's going to be a shorter night, so it'll go faster. But we're doing this. If you guys are getting any value, tell your friends about it. Come back out here. Go say thanks to Pace and everybody in Sub 2 for putting this thing together. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend.